All right, my friends, we're gonna get Kostya in on this call, but I'm telling you, he wants to use Discord now. That chump. We're gonna figure this out. Hold on. All right, say something now, Kostya Kost.
Oh,
There you go. Now you're in. You're fine. Okay.
hello?
Yeah. So Kostya,
Oh, okay, they're my headphones.
this is Kostya's absurd desire to get rid of Zoom.
Absurd desire. Absurd desire.
Life was pretty
Absurd
easy,
desire, he
Kostya, until
says.
you're trying to make it hard, buddy. Okay?
Yeah, you don't have to listen to the stream, Jesse. It was easy for you.
All right, here we gotta grab Kostya Kost here. So here's the claim, everybody. Okay, this is the claim. The claim is that Zoom no good for
Oh wait, Jesse, hold on. Let
yeah.
me before you do this,
Yeah.
you should hit the pop out on the right, top right of Discord, so that you can pop the camera out, and then you can just crop it from there.
Okay, I can do that.
Because then you can use Discord normally, and you don't have to worry about leaking all your stuff.
Dude, that's
An
you know, look at how big
important
Kostya
feature.
is. Okay, let's shrink. Honey, I shrunk Kostya. Here we go.
But yeah, no, I mean, I was told I had a very nice sound meeting. Mm-hmm. I would suggest you do one as well with chess.com, because they'll help you.
Okay.
And we went through the mic settings, and I think improved my sound. But yeah, one of the things I learned was that Zoom very bad for audio.
I don't believe it, dude. I don't believe
Okay.
it. Because, I hear, let's say I'm listening to the news or something. I don't know whether it's, and they're always talking to people on Zoom. They're always
Are they using Zoom?
Yeah, they're
They're
using Zoom. They're talking about the Zoom call, dude. So, it's hard for me. And then Discord, to suggest that Discord is somehow better than El Zumo, hard to imagine, my friend. Hard
Is it
to
just
imagine.
is it hard to imagine? Well, think about it like this. Zoom was built for like office workers and office meetings. Discord was built for like gamers, that stream.
Okay. Point. Why would
Yeah.
Discord be better, man?
No, because Discord the tech is better. It's like chess.com used to have a very slow board. Lee Chess's board was always much smoother. It was just undeniable. But now I think they've improved it a lot.
Okay. So there's Kostya. Kostya. Now, see Kostya with the layout? You need this green screen. Look at this. I'm like above it. Isn't that awesome? Look at that thing. I'm like, boom, you can see things, man. And you're just
It's
in the
cool.
way, Baus. You're just in the way, buddy.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of get what you're saying. I do have hold on. I do have a thing.
Oh, now that pop-up didn't work because now when I changed, oh, there you go. Okay. Oh, you got a thing. You were just working on your thing. Okay.
Did that help? Oh, now with Discord,
Now you just hosed me, buddy.
this is gonna be a problem. So you have to keep the camera up. You can't like minimize it. You got to be careful about that.
Well, but then I still need to see my screen.
Yeah.
So
You could put stuff on top of it. Just try not to like minimize it. If that makes sense.
the second I don't give it, okay, now let's try that. No, you just
Oh,
disappeared, Buzz.
it's very finicky.
I don't know.
I know what's happening, and that's a bummer. I didn't think that. Zoom is much better about.
Well, how about we unpop out you though, and don't use Discord. So unpop out, please. Voop. There you go, boss. And I just shadoop you. Okay, wait. First, let's see if you disappear. I don't think you're gonna disappear. See that? Oh, dude. Discord, are you sure about this, buddy? We had Zoom. It was a thing that was working. It was a known technology. You're trying. Remember when we had to do co-chess, dude, and it was like they were reinventing the wheel. We don't need to reinvent Zoom, dude.
Not reinvent. It's just improving. It's just the quality on Zoom is bad, and
Your sound, by the way,
Especially,
does not sound super hot, dude. It's got to be said. It sounds kind of crackly, if you ask me. Now,
oh, it's
okay,
crackly.
yeah, but
Maybe it's my mic. My mic is pretty. I don't know. I feel like it's giving me problems.
all right, dude. But here, how do I get you up without getting burned? Because see, I can do you there, but then I can't look at the Twitch.
So you're running low on screen.
I got two
screen
huge
space,
screens,
right?
two huge screens. But if I can't.
You have two huge screens, and
Yeah.
you don't have enough
Well,
room.
I got one for if I can't put you in the background. It won't accept second fiddle. You know.
But you can like minimize or like reshape stuff. Not everything has to be maxed out.
Oh my God, dude, this is a real possible. Okay, I'm gonna make you. I don't know. This is so annoying, dog. So, all right, we're gonna put you like that, and then, but no, the second I click on the bigger screen, the Twitch screen, he wants me to.
Really, even when it's
I don't want to
when my
minimize
camera is visible.
I don't want to minimize the Twitch screen, Bows. Then I can't see things.
You just have to like
Oh, this is a real. Look at this.
just have to resize stuff. I think.
Oh, dude. Okay, I'm gonna.
Do you not resize stuff?
I have two screens, boss. One is for one thing, the one is for another thing. Why would I be resizing?
Okay, but you can put more than one thing on a screen. Jesse.
Yeah, but it's
how
really
big are these
annoying.
screens?
They're huge, dude. But I'm trying to tell you that
What's the point of all this space?
so I can see things, Bows.
So you can put multiple windows on one screen.
Even now, I think it won't accept being second fiddle, dude. So I'm going to window capture. That's okay. So that's no bueno. We don't want that. Where did you go, buddy? Okay, then window capture. No, that's already taken. Oh, Kostya, why'd you make it hard, buddy? And then this has got to be you. We'll say okay, and then it's just gone, dude. I don't know.
Wait, hold on. Now it's like gone. Now I don't even. Now it
What?
seems like
What? Ah, hell! Oh God, Kostya, you really look what you did, dude. Look at this, dude. You just Barbied my screen or something. What? Oh my God.
I don't even know what that is.
I touched something. How is there like a back command on OBS? Like go back? Like undo?
I think you can Control Z.
Okay, let's try Control Z. There we go, boss. Well, buddy, you're either gonna have to be on Zoom or you're gonna have to be invisible.
Wait, but why is I don't even see your window capture anymore.
Yeah, okay. I'll tell you what. I'll get rid of this old window capture. We'll try this one more time, dude. Because it did not work, dude. All right, we're gonna try this again, Bows.
I mean, you're gonna need window capture for the Zoom too. That's
I have one already preset for the Zoom. Okay, now
that's good. That's good.
So, Discord pop. All right, there's Kostya Coast, and we're gonna try to make this work. I'm not gonna be able to use Discord while we're doing this. So this is not a good idea.
You can still pop out the vid.
No,
I mean,
I'm
that
never
trick is
not
still...
gonna pop out anything, buddy.
Oh my God, this is insane.
Last time we popped out, there was a lot of popping. There was some popping going on.
Oh,
and
man.
I popped out.
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna have to size your windows. So Jesse, the point of your screen space is that you can have multiple windows. Like you can have a chess.com board.
I'm gonna try
you can have a Twitch chat.
Oh, I did it, dude. So now, I don't know how I did it, but I got the big old Twitch thing, and you're hidden behind it, but I still see you, so that's a win, dude.
Amazing. Yeah, I think not all programs interfere. I mean, ideally, like with Zoom, you can put it behind stuff, and then it's fine. It doesn't... I don't know. I mean, it is scuffed. I mean, I'm not saying it's not scuffed.
Oh, you disappeared again, Mouse. Oh,
No,
God.
No, it's a little scuffed. What happened?
Dude, I think, well, maybe it was just on a time delay because it seemed like it was working for half a second. No, okay.
There's
so
no way you can...
Hold on, let me try this again. Okay, so now it's good, and now I'm looking at the Twitch full screen. You're hidden behind it, and you haven't disappeared yet. But I think Discord was just so unhappy that it wasn't being given the full priority that it didn't like it, dude. And it was like, no, I'm out. Okay.
Yeah, generally it's fine for me as long as it's just like visible, you know. Yeah, I can't. Oh man,
You need a green screen, Bows.
I need a green screen. I'm shocked that. So you just either have everything maximized or minimized. There's no in between.
Well, now the thing behind my beautiful Twitch screen, because I need to see the Twitch. It's hard to read, dude. I'm going to have a board up here. I'm going to have the Twitch people talking at me. And when I don't respond coast to coast, oh, buddy, they get pissed, dude, if I don't
But that's the
respond.
point of the resizing. I feel like you don't even understand like what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, I know. You wanna chop up my beautiful screen into multiple little windows, buddy. You know, I
Yeah,
got
so you
the
can see everything. Yeah, you got the chat, you got
and the chat
me,
is
and you got the
yeah.
scoreboard, right?
Chat's the really important one too. I need to have
I
that.
agree. That's three things. You have two screens. One of these screens is gonna have to do two jobs. Just how it works.
All right, buddy, listen up. I think we're set though for today. We got good enough for today.
It looks like we're fine.
Yeah, it looks like we're fine.
Look, guys, I'm just trying to improve the quality somewhat, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, you disappeared again. It didn't like it, dude. See? Why is it
Yeah, I know.
disappearing?
So is it behind something?
Now it was behind for a long time and it was okay. And now maybe it's because I touched a third screen for the scoreboard. And when I touched that, it was like, all right, I'm okay being second fiddle, but third, no, I'm not okay with that.
Actually, this has got to be a known issue. Hold on, let me see if Google knows. Discord blanks out in OBS.
Oh man, it's a rough life over here. Dude, the scoreboard, by the way, what do you think that? It says Jack graduated again. He's just
Really?
graduating left and right, dude. That's what it says.
Dang. How about that?
We're going to have to investigate.
All right, here we go. Capturing Discord screen share causes the capture to go black.
There you
Yes. Oh, but there was no solution. No one had a fix.
Voss, can we just get a normal Zoom call?
Yeah, we can do Zoom. We can do Zoom.
All right, now this is the thing I want people to reckon with. You've heard us talking a little bit here. And when we go to Zoom, I want you to try to tell us if you feel a difference in the sound quality. Because that's what Kostya's sound guy says, and I'm just calling BS on that.
That would be good to know.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Is it better now, or is it going to be better with Zoom? Or
Quad XC's
All right.
got to go to work in 12 hours, bud. Okay. All right, I'm going
Let's
to...
see, what is a touch, by the way?
What do you mean a touch?
What is a touch? You said you were going to be a touch late.
I said it might be a touch late, yeah.
What does that mean? Was that a euphemism for something? How long is a touch?
At least when I say I might be late, I might be late. In fact, I was on time. But
Yeah, exactly. So now
a
I'm
touch,
more
it might be a
confused.
little
I mean, what
touch,
was-
5, 10, 15, something like that's a touch.
Okay, so you understand.
No, dude, you say you're going to be there and then you're not. And then you're like, that's millennial time,
No, what do you mean I'm not? It's always like 5-10 minutes. Right, new meeting.
Max is looking at you, Bows. All right, buddy. I'm going to disconnect you.
I got the meaning. All right.
All right. Now, he's going to send me a Zoom link over here, my friends. And then we're going to get this party started again. And I'm going to get rid of this window capture. Oh, man. I like this. I don't know. I don't understand the magic of the green screen, but this thing where, like, I'm overlaid. I saw that Eric Rosen dude, man. And Eric Rosen, he's got some skills, dude. And this is the only one I really learned. But it was because Chessable sent me like a fancy setup, But the green screen itself, I don't think costs that much. I had a green screen before and it was just a lame-o green screen. But now I got the real one. Yep. Okay, I think this is Coast to Coast writing. All right, Coast to Coast. Open Zoom meetings, please. There you go. It'll start eventually, this show. All right, good. Now, I think he's got to let me in. He might let me in a touch. We'll see. We'll see. He's not letting me into his own meeting, dude. There we go. Boom. There he is. Instantly window captured. Instantly window captured. All right, there you go. All right, Baus. Can you hear me? Oh, I got to say join with computer audio. There we go. Can you hear me now, Baus?
Hey, yeah.
All right, buddy. So, yeah, we'll let people decide about the sound qualitas, as they say.
Yeah, let us know for real. I just listened to it. I just listened to the VOD.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the sound was totally fine.
Okay.
But we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna keep talking. It's hard to talk when it's like you're doing the sound test. You just have to just say whatever.
Okay, but yeah, let's get into this. This will be a good show. We got Yair up first.
Seems more echoey now. Yeah, I bet it's worse. I'm gonna listen to it.
Oh my God. Dude.
But the big thing, Jesse, of course, it's the lack of headphones. I mean, this is the real tragedy.
So the person hosting needs headphones. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that sometime. I got headphones somewhere. I'd have to dig them out. I'd dig them.
Yeah, actually, I think headphones would improve it a lot more compared to Zoom versus Discord. Now that I don't even know, that's the much bigger. You know what else I learned? They don't even let people host on chess.com unless they're using headphones.
Yeah, well, I know all about that, dude. I've been through their rigmarole, dude. And then we did a whole thing with them. I remember years ago, and they were screaming about this feedback, that feedback. No one could hear it, dude. They didn't, Sometimes it does do a little feedback, but a lot of times it's just totally fine, man.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it. But we got Yair up first.
Let's do it, graduates. All right, here we go. That's the YouTube cut. We can start the show.
Right, and Kostya, I think this is correct. All this goes on our Chess Dojo Live channel, right?
That's right, folks, which you guys should please sub to so we can monetize it. But we have a second channel, youtube.com/ChessDojoLive. It's linked down below. It's linked on our main YouTube. It's where we put all these grad shows as well. You can watch previous grad shows to learn from all the players and games.
Right. Basically, Kostya, and probably rightly, decided that the YouTube channel, our main one, it gets penalized if we do longer shows like this one. So we're putting the longer shows up on the other channel. All right, Blunder games have encouraged me to play a lot more and not care so much about winning or losing. There we go. Let's check out Yair, dude. Okay, so 87 points.
400.
There we go, dude. White Owl. White Owl. Okay, and even a bigger change on Lichess Classical. I think maybe you told me, but I found out that the first rating on Lichess is either 14 or 1500. Which goes a long way to understanding the inflation, dude.
Yeah. But look, we got this new normalized thing. That's very fresh.
Yeah, dude. Everybody, let's just take a moment to appreciate Jack here for a second. In fact, let's click on his little thing. Normalized to FIDE using the table on material. Oh, look at that, dude. Yes, well done. Well done. And then it says next graduation. Fantastic. There we go, man. So and so what we're saying is next graduation would be the ChessCom, obviously, and not the normalized, but that's still fine. Yeah, I like it a lot. Okay.
Yeah, and very close to the next graduation as well.
Mm-hmm. Rob the Viking is rating with 20. Thank you so much. We're gonna refresh here. Rob the Viking, check it out, man. We got our tech stuff fixed, kinda, and now we're doing the grad show. We do this every week. These are the people that they've upped their level in the chess dojo. So here we got Yair. He's been doing some blunder games and a lot of tactics. But we got to go to the last one. This one here. Yeah, there you go, dude. And I have a feeling these games are going to be, look at that. Oh, dude's got everything here. Review with the plus.
Wow.
Postmortems. Cohort games. I like this
What
a
a
lot,
beautiful
dude.
chart.
That's a good one. And then we got actually time breakdown. He's been playing a lot. Good. One of the things we decided with Dojo 2.0 is that the people under 1,000, we really wanted them to play more and even quicker games, which was antithetical to the original vision. But the idea is, especially with the blender games, is just at that level, just look for not dropping your stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just rapid games where the focus is not hanging your things, taking advantage of your opponent's mistakes, which are going to happen almost every
Yeah.
game.
Race to GM, the blunder games is a thing for the under 1,000 crew where you're allowed to play quicker games. You don't have to analyze them, but you do have to go back and you don't have to annotate them, but you do have to go back and look for where you blundered pieces, you and your opponent. Okay, let's see if Yer's got some games for us. Oh, we do. There's White Owl. Let's click on one. All right, here we go. So far, GM level moves.
Nice. Beautiful.
Beautiful moves, dude. Taking is fine. Now, let me just say, in terms of dogmatism, it's good not to make unnecessary pawn moves. So with G6, what you're doing is this bishop's already out. So from a dogmatic standpoint, which will help anybody, even GMs, it's just develop your stuff, Bows. All right, here we go. Frisky. That's what we call frisky. Castling long like that. Okay. Now, when you put your pawn here, you'd think you'd put your bishop here, Bows. All right. Check to the miserable rook. Okay. Uh-oh, that's a blunder. That's a blunder. That's a big one, too. That's a big one. These notes are pretty good, man. Yeah. And missing knight f6. Okay. 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 Getting frisky. Thank you for the pawn. Uh-oh. My opponent miscounted. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. That isn't it.
We take those.
We take those. That's right. There we go, buddy. There we trade it off. There we go. Give it all to me. Yeah, good move. Thank you. Oh, that wasn't it, son. Well, we could have taken on C1, but we're doing fine. That's pretty good. Give me that. Give me that. Oh, it's just everything, Kostya. Dude's just taking everything. The white owl. We're going to take the rook next. Oh. The rook. Didn't see the rook.
Oh.
There we go. Now we're going to do mating patterns. Bishop e5 looks good to me. Let's get a mate over here. Let's get a mate. Queen f4.
Oh, no, letting the king out. Oh,
there we go.
Nice.
Checkmate.
Great.
Okay, so first of all, White Owl, you're doing great. And one of the things that we've learned at the dojo is especially where you are, where the game will be decided, are things like allowing this and then allowing this. And you should, until you get to 1,000, you should just say to yourself, my opponents will do things like this every game. Like the rook f5, where they blundered it too. You know, it'll just happen again and again. And that's, it won't always be like that in your chess career. There'll be other things going on. But that's what it's going to be like until you hit 1,000. FIDE, normalized. But good, dude. I'm looking forward to seeing more of the White Owl. That's pretty good. Actually, we'll just go back here and we'll click recent. All right, Kostya, you want to read Nashikan here while I sip on this beautiful cup of coffee?
Okay, I'll have to full screen it, but I got it.
Oh,
Right,
see,
Nashikan.
it's good to have the screen, boss. Come on now.
Yeah, so that you have the
You can see,
flexibility
so
to
you can see.
rearrange stuff. Okay. Nashikan, graduating 400 to 500. Let's go. Dojo score 59.86, earning the white belt, I guess. All right. Model of sparring and +1 review is difficult without pairings. Yeah, especially for game review, it'd be helpful to have higher cohort players assign their games as homework. We've thought about that.
Yeah.
Um, Not usually going to do postmortem with anonymous person online. Hard to find higher rated player to review. Also totally agree with the principle that fast games shouldn't count and that we need 30-minute time control. But on chess.com, it's super easy to pair for 30-minute games with no increment. It's really hard to pair for 30-minute games with an increment. So please relax that. No, not happening. If you take more than 16 minutes, it isn't a blunder game. I want to hire Kostya as a coach, but no clue who reads this. Usually it's Jesse reading it. Wow, what are the odds? Okay, so with the reviewing with a high rated player, I would say in Discord, people are generally good about reviewing games if you post it there. I was trying to come up with ways to make it more efficient, but without gamifying the process too much. Because I was thinking about like offering maybe like perks or rewards to high rated players that like look at the games of low rated players, but then that would encourage very superficial effort, I think. So I didn't think that was a good idea ultimately. Yeah, I feel like as the program grows, we should be able to get more people in, and there should be more volume. And I mean, for this cohort 4 to 500, that's a lot of players on the other end that are capable of offering advice. But yeah, I would recommend in terms of finding games to use the Discord as well. And soon, actually, we're going to be running regular tournaments on Lichess, which is very exciting. We're going to be doing like classical events, rapid, also blitz. There's going to be a big global leaderboard because the tournaments will be open to everyone. So it'll be the super fun league. And we're going to do classical events as well. So we'll probably do like the program time control, like 30-minute plus 15, and do like maybe, well, that was a pretty fast one. So we could do like 4 games in one day, 3 games in one day. That can also be, we're thinking about doing tournaments that are like 1 game a week at a specific time. So like Fridays, 5 p.m. Every week or so. So hopefully, yeah, that should make it easier to find quality long games. Yeah. Dojo Liga, come back.
Right, and also we have Dojo Liga and we have the weekend tournaments too. But the bot thing, I think, is going to be a big improvement. And I'm with Nashikhan there. Okay, let's click onto it. And I think the Dojo score is of the new cohort and not the old cohort. So we'll have to check that. So here we go. Normalized 506, 850. Okay, so they just clipped into this new cohort. American lawyer, 41 in London. Well, nice, dude. Okay, Nashikhan, that's great, man. Yeah. Activity. And let's go the previous cohort. So 60 points, games and analysis. That's pretty good. That's pretty good right there.
Nice.
And then also let's click on the tactics. Yeah, now one of the things I just want to say, because we talked about this last time, but in terms of what they're doing in tactics, it's a strong majority everyone's first chess workbook. So that thing has been an amazing success. Whereas you go to the higher cohorts, and it won't always, we'll check today, but it's usually not so overwhelmingly the book, say, with the tactics. It'll be other things, right? Okay, that's great. Let's see if we got a game. Oh, we got a game. Let's check it out. All right.
Nice,
good.
recent game.
Good. So far, GM level. There's a trick here for black, but we're not going to talk about it because what you're doing is fine. Fine. Beautiful. Okay, so let's read what you write. Because my opponent was continuing with the symmetrical play, I decided to go ahead and take the pin knight as the position was very closed, and this would make knights a little more useful than bishops. Okay. I don't have any big problem with your logic here, so let's keep going. Boom. And then you did an interesting thing here, playing queen d2. Since neither side had castles and white was under more threat on the king's side, idea here was to leave flex for myself to long castle, and in any event give the queen sight over the d2. This is great notes. This is great notes. I think queen d2 is a very dynamic move, too, that puts pressure on your opponent, because the whole black's trump, if you will, was the tension on the f3 knight. Now, one of the things I want you to see that's interesting about c3 is what c3 will do is take away the squares for the knight, and that would actually be a thing, I think, if black had played this. In any case, it's a little bit annoying for you, because now you're going to have to deal with this big fat beast talking to your, well, I'm not going to say your coconuts, but he's talking to you over there. You know what I'm saying? But this is, in principle, a good competitive move, and those are good notes. And like we said in the previous game, at this level, it's going to be mistakes like that they're just going to murder him. Thank you very much. Bishop f3.
Got him with the count.
And now here, this would have been a moment where you could definitely have improved by throwing in what we call the Zwischenzug. See, you can take that bad boy before you take the bishop. And that way you don't have to worry about the jump that's about to happen to you. Right? Okay. So now we're going to say something obvious. You are winning this position, but you are going to have to be careful. And I think queen e3 is already, well, it's dangerous precisely because of this move. But then look at that. Boom. Good move, boss. Good move. Nice. It's pretty good. Now this, for somebody rated 748, I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is a pretty good high-level game. Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you. That's c3. That was nice.
You get a lot of those kinds of tactics in that Learn Chess the Right Way book. A lot of these like defensive-minded tricks. What ELO is everyone's first chess workbook for? I would say we have it in the program, I think 0 to 800 is where we have it. So yeah, basically very elementary level for tactics and stuff.
Yeah. And then, yeah, we're getting the blunder here. Boom. Boom.
Ooh.
Boom. And now black freaks out about the f7 square, not realizing that they could just take. Oh! So you caught a break there, buddy. Now, these notes are great. Notice that the question marks and the exclams are mostly to do with people hanging stuff, and that's where what it should be. People are going to be hanging stuff here, and you just want to be able to take advantage of it. Good move. And I'll tell you right now, that wasn't it. Check to the miserable king. Ooh, rook f7 also looked good. Miss checkmate in 1. Okay. Now it's pretty. I would have had to restrain myself too, Nashikhan. You know, I like a tasty rook on a8. That'd be hard to stop me from doing it. Hanging our rook.
At least here.
There we go.
This is really extreme tunnel vision, huh?
Extreme. But look, this is typical for the struggle you're going to be at and your opponents at this level. As we're going to see, it's every game is going to be decided with a lot of this level of mistake, which is fine, right? It's just the thing that you're going to go through here.
Totally natural.
Yeah.
The point is just to work on it, you know, slowly reduce our own blunders, improve our tactics, improve our foresight, and yeah.
Great, dude. On sabbatical.
We'll see you next week.
We're gonna see Nashikhan next week. Honestly, we really could, because actually, let's go to Nashikhan's ratings here, and I think it could well happen. It could well, especially if Nashikhan's on sabbatical. Yeah, you can crank 100 points on ChessCom pretty quick. Yeah. Okay, cool. That was great. So next up, we got Unimatrix. And we've seen Unimatrix before, and Unimatrix doesn't tell us anything. But let's go look. 226, that's a dojo gain right there. That's pretty good. Just clipped into 701 on the normalized. How about that? And then let's see what's going on with the activity. We want to click back one. Lots of tactics. Let's see what they're doing.
Algorithms.
Dang, look at that. Look at that, man.
Ooh, pretty.
But mostly everyone's first chess workbook. We're seeing a theme there. All right, good. 13 hours. Of course, at these lower cohorts, you can get to the next level with less amount of time. You know, it's almost like a logarithmic expansion when you go up, right? The amount of time you need to go to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's so true.
Let's go games. Oh, we got some. All right. Oh, a big match against his bro, Emmanuel Vargas. Oh, maybe it's all the same game, though, because they're all 15 moves. Let's see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Here we go. Wow, even at this level, they got the fancy F3 move. E6. This was the move I recommended in my Caro course. Good. Good. Fine.
You know, Jesse,
Frisky.
I feel like white is playing more of like a system opening. Look at this. G4.
Yes, I guess so.
And then next move, queen b6.
What's this one? B4. Now, can we just say there's got to be a word for this setup? Because, you know, we got the bathtub, which would be of these 4 squares. But I don't know if I've ever seen this one. This might be the claw, in fact.
This is, yeah, some kind of double
This is
claw.
the claw, dude. I don't know if I've ever seen the claw in action. But I think what I'm looking at here is the claw. And now black freaks out, because I would be freaked out too if I was playing the claw. You know? Mm-hmm. I've never seen the claw, dude. It's pretty intense.
But I like the instinct here. When your opponent is advancing pawns on the wings, you just gotta blast open the center. So DE4 I feel like is very reasonable. I would have followed it up with E5. Perhaps.
Good move. Let's talk about that. That was my instinct.
Yeah.
Bam. And so one of the things we can say, I can definitely say as a coach, is that at this level, they're going to be hanging stuff. And then let's say when they get to even a 1,000, they're going to be hanging tempi. So white has just forgotten to develop their stuff here. And then whenever they do, just try to blast open the position. And I would say white is already toast here. It's already gone. Yeah.
So this is a very thematic idea to keep in mind.
But in a certain sense, even though I don't think me and Kostya agree with this, the intuition isn't ridiculous, right? Your intuition is...
Yeah, the instinct, I think, is pretty similar. Yeah, just maybe... Oh, and we got E5 here.
And you got E5 too. There you go, Bows.
Yeah.
Boom. And now bishop G4. I guess I would have wanted knight G4. But okay, bishop G4. Queen C1. Rook D8. This dude doesn't care. He's angry. Yo, Unimatrix. We're going to send him to therapy, dojo therapy, dude. Okay, A3. Queen A5.
Wow, so many counters.
Black wins on time. Huh. He just quit.
Opponent left.
He just quit. He had enough. He had enough, dude. Okay, that's pretty good. And we're going to see Unimatrix again, because Unimatrix is just flying up. Let's click on those ratings again. So 226, graduated multiple times. That's great, man.
Hey, sometimes you just have to stay in the game. That's it.
That's right. All right, here we go. Let's go recent. And now we're getting Tal Huba. Tal Huba. And no note. 543 points gained. Dang.
Wow.
Yeah. And almost ready for the next graduation, too. Okay, let's look. So this is the last one. So they just started, but they did 47 points here. Lots of tactics. Dude, everyone's first chess workbook. Again and again and again. He's cranking on it, too. 17 hours, mostly with the games and analysis. Okay. Well, let's see if we got a game from Tal Huba. Nothing. Okay. So let's click here, Blender games. So what does that mean? And this is totally fine, by the way, is that normally you get to a higher level, you can do annotated games, and then we'll put those in the database. But below 1,000, playing the Blender games where you're just trying not to hang stuff, not a bad strategy for improving. And definitely Tall Hooper's on their way.
Yeah. But soon, yeah, gonna have to play some classical games. But they're not even that long. I mean, G30, it's not like you're sitting there for hours. You know, we
Yeah.
we work you up slowly.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, let me go recent. So that was Tall Hooper. Now, Harold the Who has been around for a while, but I don't. And I don't. But this is now. Let me just say, some graduations are more meaningful than others. They're all great, but to me, as a fan, when somebody's really been cranking at it for a while, it's more meaningful because I appreciate the struggle. And that's what I think is going on with Harold here, too, because Harold's got 100. Well, let's just click on Harold and see what's going on.
Yeah, big dojos.
Because Harold has been around for a while, right? Yeah, 63 years old. I'm going to tell you, it's harder.
3 years old.
Let's go. It's a little harder, bud. It's a little harder. And
I love it. That's awesome.
889. Oh, so little, maybe either was a little bit premature, or Harold could have lost a couple points after he clicked the graduation.
Might have just gone down a few points. Yeah,
that's
I mean that's like one game basically.
Yeah. Okay, well let's click. And what we're going to do is we're going to see. Oh yeah, 140 points. That's what we're looking at. That's the real deal, and that's also a really good distribution there. Oh, look at that, dude. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. Look at that color.
That's really good, man. And then let's see some end games. Algorithm, win conversion, good. Tactics. Some Polgar mates in 1, good. 306 of them. Polgar mates in 2, 500 of them. All right, Harold. All right, Harold. Now you're showing me something. Okay. Okay. And then learn chess the right way, because we're getting up there in a little bit. Okay, that's great, man. So, and then 59 hours. Great, dude. Because I've seen Harold around. I've seen some of his games. I think I've seen him in Discord, you know?
Yeah, he's often watching on Twitch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see what we got again. Nope. So, we do have annotated games, but we're not seeing it in the database. Okay,
so maybe
great,
not submitting them, which is fine.
Or maybe had submitted them in the old database. That's also possible.
Oh, right.
Okay, great, man. So that's Harold. I guess it's my turn to read this thing out. So this is Tika Poch saying, love studying the Morphy games in the first book of Morphy. Very inspiring. Great. That's actually really good to hear. So there was some little bickering in the Discord about the Morphy book. But basically, as we're going up, like beginning around 800, we wanted some book that was annotated games, you know, that people could get a sense of classic games, what good annotations look like, etc. So I'm really happy you like that book. Okay, well, let's click on Tika. All right, normalized 1191. Now, does that mean, that looks to me, Coast to Coast, that Tika Poch is actually above the ready to graduate again.
Oh, let's go. We'll see you next week.
That's what it looks like to me, buddy. Now, some people are deliberately slowing their advancement down, and there's various strategies involved when they do that. But and you can see actually the Elite Chess and the ChessCom are different. Maybe they're not playing so much. Oh, and here we got a USCF of 795.
So USCF, okay, it's even yeah. So these are kind of all over the place, even in terms of the normalized.
Right.
Which shows just how hard it is.
Oh, I actually, I haven't tried this. Let's see if I can click this. Oh, there it is, Justin. And there's oh yeah, look at that Pennsylvania dude. Nice. Oh yeah, this is great. This is great, dude. Fantastic. And then I guess I could click them here too. I've never done that before. And I'm pretty sure that maybe that's even new that Jack did that. I hadn't really
No, that's
appreciated.
been around. That's been around.
I hadn't clicked on it
Yeah.
before. That's really, especially with the USCF. I felt a little hesitation when I clicked on that because I'm like, am I doxing him? You know, am I doxing his real name or something? I don't know. But anyways, that was interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
let's click on Tika here.
But yeah, everyone has the option to privatize their info if you don't want it public.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's in your profile settings. Yeah. So right, you can track any ratings you want and then choose whether you want those publicly displayed or not. Because the USCF and FIDE, those are going to be attached to your actual name. So not everyone will want to show
Got
those
it.
probably.
Got it. Okay, so this is what they did. Justin did to make it. And let's click around a little bit. Dude, they're into the books. They're into the books, man. Simple program 8 and 2s, 500. Good. Good. That's some pretty good work. That's some pretty good work. All right, yeah, let's see if Tika's got a game. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Okay.
Practical sound.
Oxnatary is his name, dude.
Oh.
All right. Okay, let's see how this goes. Good notes so far. Okay. 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 Nothing wrong so far. E5. When this move was played, I thought it was perhaps inaccurate, but it was really annoying. Okay. Yeah, in general, pawn moves are not going to be the greatest. You're also making 1,000 pawn moves. I think your d6 is fine. You got loads of moves here, honestly. Knight h6 looks good. d5 looks good. I think you're doing great. I guess I would prefer d5 to get a good French, but you got your d6 is fine. Oh, yeah. Now his center is going to collapse, though, or their center. Practical Sounds center is going to collapse. Pop, pop, and now I think you're right that DE5 looks great for you. But let's read what you write. Taco, Chaco, Rocco, Mako, Tuca. I didn't like this sequence of trades that ended up with me having these pawn islands on the queen side. Okay, that's fair enough. It's, first of all, not the easiest position to evaluate, and it's not super easy to say exactly what you should do, like just immediately. But I like your position, especially because you're going to later get a free developing move with rook d8 at some point.
Yeah, I would say like black's knight goes to f5, bishop goes to b7, rook d8. Mm-hmm. Feels very harmonious.
This pawn will be a weakness later.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, let's see what you did. Fine. Now, one thing that's interesting about your decision, by the way, I wouldn't say that white's actually better here, but
yeah, this doesn't look bad either.
But what's interesting is that you were clearly concerned about the pawn islands, and I don't know if it's that big of a deal. Let's read what you write. After the liquidation in the center, the position looks equal to me. Maybe white has a slight advantage. Black doesn't have castling right, but that's not a huge deal. Good, that's absolutely true. White has more space and is ahead in development, but there's plenty of play left in the position. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, yeah, I like your position. I guess my first
Honestly,
instinct...
black looks better to me.
Yeah, I would maybe put the bishop on c6. You know, put that bad boy there and then see what happens. You know, it can't be, you got to be doing great.
Yeah. Also, I see that a note, like, they were thinking about bishop e7 in order to stop bishop g5 check. But black's king, I would think, is very happy on c7 here.
Exactamundo, yeah.
So bishop g5, we can sidestep.
And what's interesting, actually, what you're saying, Kostya, is I think, right, they didn't appreciate that king c7 was a good square. And do I think f6 is a mistake? be, I guess, yeah, I would king c7 or knight e7, one of those moves. Okay, so f6, and then castle's good, and then the problem, if anything, with king c7 for me would be, what about bishop f4?
Right.
Because takes is important to see. White is developing your coconut. Boom, you're out. You're out, Mr. Spout. But there is the question mark here is, does bishop f4 hurt you? And to me, it looks a little uncomfortable, bishop f4.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is the problem with f6, that it opens up this diagonal, and we kind of traded off white's weak pawn for them. And now we're left with the weak pawn on e6.
Yeah, and I would honestly say pawn shimon, but this is the problem, because our king has no natural square now. Because if we go king c6, this bishop's going to land on our coconut.
Yeah.
You know, our king doesn't have, and if we go king b6, we have to deal with that scary thing. Yeah. But okay, g3, and I think rook d8 loses on the spot. So we're going to check that out in a second. Well, let's see. It is a difficult moment for you. I think we got to try bishop d7, man. Got to get out. We could try to sack a pawn with e5, pop, pop, pop. Makes me nervous. Makes me real nervous. Not because of knight f6, but some kind of bishop g2 thing. And I'm like, get off me, son.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not so bad, but it's definitely white's better. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, I think white blew it, though. Rook d8 isn't... Oh, maybe I'm wrong. No, I'm wrong. I was thinking bishop f4 would really hurt, but then... And it might. It still might hurt.
It looks good, yeah.
Bishop g2.
The Morphy trick.
And then bishop f4 is even worse. So we can think about bishop f4, but black didn't see it. And needs to play something like bishop d7 or something like that. Bishop d6, sure. And now we're encouraging it. And maybe white didn't see it either, but then when you kick the bishop, he's like, well, maybe I have to move my bishop. And then white says, oh, maybe this square. Bishop d6. And dude took with it might not be a dude, excuse me. Practical Sound took with the bishop, but it's of course correct to do the Morphy.
Yeah.
There's the Morphy, and there's the Snorphy right there.
Morphy should be like a tactical instinct, folks. It should just immediately pop out. When you have this pin, try not to give it up.
Mm-hmm. And like in the Morphy game, in this position, the rook on h1 is our one piece that's not into the game. And then when we take with the rook, it is in. So this is a great game, you know, where you're seeing tactics like that. A lot of people are on me like, Kraai, we need to do more tactics in the program. And then they're not analyzing their games. And I'm always like, Bows, the tactics are in your game. And they're like, what? What are you talking about? No, they're there. Now, this is a catastrophe that white just did. Because now it's got to be stressed that your king is amazing. Your king is fine. Yeah. And then this is just a chump move. That doesn't do anything. We're going to say that's okay. That's a chump move. No one knows. Good move. A5. Okay. And now, let's read what you say after g5. My plan is to put my bishop on c6. If the opponent doesn't want to trade, they might want to try it on h3 and to use the diagonal to pressure my e-pawn. In that case, I'm not positioned to push my pawn to g4. Okay, so here, if you had just shown me the move g5, I wouldn't have understood. If you hadn't said that, what you just said, I wouldn't have understood your g5 move at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now bishop c6 is a beautiful looking move, but it's true that bishop h3 is a little bit inconvenient. Now, you've got several moves. One of the things I want you to see about the position is that the white king, he's kind of a chump compared to your king. So your king's doing things, right? Kostya, what do you think white should play here? Excuse me, black.
I think b6 isn't terrible.
I was thinking b6. Yeah, b6 is okay. It's also interesting if we think the position's equal, then we could say king d6. He could do king d6 anyway, and I think white should probably check you back. And if he doesn't check you back, then we'll play king c6, and then we don't have to worry about bishop h3 anymore. But okay. Now, one thing about this is white needs to make a building move here, and we're going to say that.
But yeah, I
brilliant.
don't mind g5.
Okay. And now we predicted this. Get out of here. He fell right into Oxnediterri's trap, dude. Welcome to the dojo. Now look at the bishops. We just compare. Obviously, white's bishop is grand here. But look at that thing now. Just a chump. Rook d8, bishop c4, and now you go knight d5. Carlsen will play rook d6 here to say, no trade for you.
Yeah, okay. Just holding on to the tension.
Now, is this equal? I would still, just intuitively, I would say I would rather be black just because your king's a little bit more active. But it's true. We got ourselves a fight here.
Yeah.
Okay. So. If I was going to just, off the top of my head, suggest a move for you, it would be rook f5, threatening rook f2. It is probably equal. It's probably fair. If white improves his king, we're going to say white's better, but the king is still poor. And your intuition with e5, I guess, is that you're going to be pushing the passed pawn. It's kind of hard to do at the moment, though. Okay, rook e4, and then you blundered it here with king e6. I assume you blundered it here. Because, well, oh, wait a second. Okay, so the problem is rook e4 is unfortunately surprisingly strong because after h5, c4, you're still losing a Pieszki, right?
That is a bummer.
And the bummer is here too. Wherever we put the king, white gets to put the rook here. And it was an important win of a pawn and now an even more important invasion of the rook. Okay. So king e6.
So e5 then was the blunder basically.
Yeah. Here, check this out. White offers a draw. Whoa! That's a hell of a move to offer a draw with, son.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe I'm winning, so maybe I'll offer a draw. Why didn't he just take the pawn on g4? That's a healthy pawn. Leading to h4 square. Come on. Take the pawn. He's scared. c4. Okay. Let's actually see. Maybe it's not so clear if white takes the pawn. It's pretty clear. And then rook h4 would be the big question mark, I think. Looks pretty good, man. Now, what is kind of fun about the black position, though, is if you play it, let's say, king d6 or rook d6, you are going to be asking white an interesting question about what's going to happen here.
Yeah, black is getting the counterplay with the e-pawn. This would be very tricky for white.
I don't know, Kostya. I think it's winning, but let's say rook h5. Yeah, rook h5 is a bummer to face.
King e4.
Okay, but where's you going to play rook e6 next?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It'll be interesting. So, but what I just need a building move, honestly, because if you play rook e6, I can play king d2. So I need a good building move, but it's not an easy thing. That's kind of a mutual Zugzwang kind of thing happening here as well.
Yeah, you're gonna make a weakening move too.
Well, I'm going to talk about your weaknesses here pretty soon, buddy. Interesting position. Interesting position, yeah. Fascinating. And this is the kind of position, too. Like, we could analyze this, and it'd be, it's what should be done. It should be done.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think rook h4 is correct, Mundo. And rook g7, maybe. e4, pop. I don't know about e3. Pop. And then this is lost. Right? That's toast.
Should be losing.
Should be toast. In fact, on king c3, the move here for white is just g4.
No. Well, okay, fine. I was thinking b5, right?
Oh, b5 is even better, dude. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So rook g7. But rook g7, let me think about that one for a second. Yeah, rook g7 honestly is better than my rook h4 even. What am I saying? So, yeah, that's better. It's better. Because rook b5 is nothing. I play like c3, and then if e4, we can come in. So your move, rook g7, even better. Okay, c4, now an interesting thing happens. Because black plays rook d4, and I want to admit that my first instinct is that that pawn endgame is lost, but it's going to require some examination. Let's check it out. It's pretty high.
Seems very likely lost, yeah. So I would have taken the draw.
I would have taken the draw,
with
buddy.
Both hands, yeah.
With both hands. Now, one cool thing here is important to say is that you have a tempo to burn in h5. And I don't know how to analyze this yet, but it is going to be important, that tempo to burn. That's the one thing I know. So h5, I'm going to say, is guaranteed to be lost. Because here, dude plays b5. And then it's good night. Adios, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
Yeah, this should have been Zugzwang. But we often see players struggle in these king and pawn end games. They get very panicky. They're like, I don't know what to do, and then they just start backing up with the king.
Yeah.
As well. So instead of h5, maybe black should have tried king d6.
Good move. Let's try it. I still think it's toast, but let's take a look. King d6, king d3, king e5. Oh yeah, it's actually going to get pretty spicy here. So b5.
Right.
Now, if b5 doesn't work, we can think about king d2, but let's first try this.
Yeah,
and then I go
b6,
Papo.
Yeah.
Papo
c5
don Rapo.
like this.
Yeah, that's Papo don Rapo, my friend. King d5, pop.
You're right.
And then if AB, we go Chaparapo. Nico Kotako. Bam! Run, Forrest, run. That's it. Okay, but dude, these things were not seen. Well, who knows what's going to happen now, Kostya?
No,
See?
no, I think black is
why'd you tell him to take the draw, Kostya? He's winning the whole time. And actually, this was a nice tactic here because intuitively, AB would be the move, but then C6.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, let me just tell you, let me just crow for a little bit. So I've been following Magnus's games, and there was this amazing trick with his game with a Bossov. And I saw it before Magnus did, dude. I saw it before Magnus, and Magnus could have lost the game. It was a drawing, essentially drawing, but it could have led to a loss. And Magnus in the post game was like, and then I saw it. It was like a half an hour after I did, dude. Anyways, that just reminded me here because this would be the cold shower here, right? That would just be the pure cold shower right there. Yeah. So King T takes B5. I would say you deserve an exclam for that move. Mop it up. Yep. All right, there we go.
Good stuff.
Good. Tika Pogue, that's great, man. That's great. Oh, here, I want to click recent. Okay, Mateo. And now I think this is going to be what we call a ghost graduation. Hard to say, maybe. 23-year-old French chess player. Well, maybe it's not a ghost, but there's no activity. Oh, a little bit. If I go down one. Yeah. So just maybe not so active. Oh, we do have one. We do have one. I take it all back. Let's check out Mateo here. Now,
Yeah, I just started.
this might be the same Andrew M. who is on our site.
Oh, Andrew also graduating this week.
So
Cool.
here we go.
You guys are beating up on each other. It's good.
All right, and as you can see, the level has gone up a little bit here. Let me just say this A6 is some fancy stuff, usually called the Janowski variation. If you're interested in chess history, Janowski was a fiend. Guy was a fiend, man. He could beat the best, but he could also lose to the worst. Gambling all night. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Losing all his games in New York 1924 like a chump. Anyways, A6, the claim is that this A6 move was useful. That's the claim. Okay, now we got a kind of a Carlsbad. And here the claim is that at the least B4, B5 is slowed down. So that's the supposed use in this structure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little funky not to develop. I don't like bishop b4 that much. There we go, Abbasov. Now you got a nice position. Oh, I would say
call him Abbasov.
Abbasov. Nice position, man. And you're right, f5's not great, but I do feel like you have a nice advantage here with your beautiful dark square bishop. Yeah. Oh, a4. What are you doing, bud? Just play bishop c4. So you told me yourself.
I don't like it.
That's a nice bishop, though, Baus. That's a nice one. Now, just castle. You don't got to be so fancy, dude. I see. Just castle. You're going to need the rook on the f-file, bud. Ah, killing me. Castle, please. There we go. There we go. Now, it got to be said that these are some nice colors. Look at that.
Very nice.
We even have a cross here. Do you see that? Do you see that cross?
We've got some artists in the dojo.
Okay. All right, so now we gain the file. And now this is the white's moment where white needs a plan. Uh-oh, we blundered the bishop. Playing so well. Playing so well up until this point. This is a difficult moment, actually. I feel like white is better, but black is threatening. I think knight takes e3. And if we play bishop e5, we're going to allow rook f8 to happen, which I'd rather not see. So the question becomes, could I improve?
I like this line given. Bishop takes d5 followed by queen f4. I feel like that kind of clarifies white's advantage a bit. Threatens a nice cheapo. That's always good. But the bishop, the dark square bishop, looks like it could be really just an excellent piece in this position. So I would play the opposite color piece middle game maybe.
I hear you, yeah. And of course, I just don't want to give up my my beautiful coconut. Yeah, okay, pretty good.
Yeah, queen e5 is a move as well. But you get a little, you get some rook e8.
Also, maybe rook d8 hurts my flexibility a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a nice judgment call, actually. Like, you're just like, I can't have everything, but I can have the dark squares, my friend. And then I'm going to say that's black's correct move. And, hey, black, it's going to be hard to crack this one down. It's going to be hard to crack this one down.
Yeah,
okay, Mateo, that's pretty good. Let's go back and click on Mateo again. So he's a French player. And 1176. So almost to the next level, right? And
Very close.
I think, Mateo, you got to give us more on the scoreboard, bows. Come on. Come on, give us more. Give us more.
When did they even start? They maybe joined recently,
Oh, okay, we can click down here.
How much
Join the
activity do we
dojo.
have?
Oh, yeah, just a couple days ago, boss. I joined just a couple days ago.
Okay, you're literally graduating their first week. Let's go, Mateo.
This guy's going to graduate again soon. All right, we're going to see
One for
Mateo
one.
pretty good. Okay, we're going to see Mateo soon. Okay, so now we have Andrew. I think it's your turn to read that, bows.
Andrew, we got Andrew in the chat.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew says, I enjoyed the 11-1200 section of the program, but I feel as if there should be more endgames than Elite Chess endgame tasks. A lot of my points came from endgames, despite not having to spend long on them. Perhaps that is just my endgame being better than the average 1200. But either way, I feel like a few extra tasks would have been nice. Hey, collect those points in the endgame. The cool thing about our program is that we have all of our stuff laid out in the material section. So if you ever do want to do like extra endgame stuff, you can always see what's in the cohorts above you and start learning those endgames ahead of time. I don't know. I think in general, people are doing like very little endgames.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to get them to just start doing a little bit, just learning like some fundamental positions, some key algorithms. I don't know. I think we're in a good shape. There's always room for more, of course.
I would say so by the way, whenever somebody, makes a suggestion, I think the way we're doing this is for, let's say, books or other suggestion, we have a list of stuff for Dojo 3.0, which is going to be May 2024, which is closer than you think. And that's when we'll do some kind of program revamp, right? And we'll try to roll out the changes, then. For myself, I think in terms of endings, for the higher cohorts, probably higher than where Andrew is now, I would say we want some endgame studies. I think endgame studies are very important. Then we've also had the discussion about a different kind of endgame progression other than the rook endgame progression. And so that could also happen. The bummer with the rook endgame progression is I feel not as many people have used it as I have hoped. And that's partly a social problem because people have to organize the matches to play the matches. It's also people find rook endgames tedious, though it is one of the quicker ways to improve because you'll be so much better at them than your cohort. They come up all the time. But let's click around on Andrew. Let's see what Andrew's done.
Yeah, I like the endgame progressions, though. I feel like we can definitely do more of those.
So there it is, 1192, and maybe lost a couple points. So activity, and we're going to go to the last one. So 48 points, pretty good. 33 hours. Oh, let's click the sins. Let's click the sins. Oh, it wasn't so bad. Not that much blitz at all.
Balanced diet of sins.
Balanced diet of sins. That's right. Okay. And now we want to click on the end game because they were talking about the algorithm. So I think 20 is I think that sounds like 2 algorithms, right? That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
And then before we go to the next, to the games, maybe they're not there, but let's just go click on endgame and see what's going on. By the way, look at Andrew, 16 years old. I love it. We've had I'm really hoping we get more teens, especially, into the dojo training program. So I'm happy that Andrew's here. Okay, let's take a look. So they've done algorithm 3.
Andrew, you got Silman.
Yeah.
Silman endgame book.
Yeah, that's the big Dow. But remember, Kostya, he just came to this new cohort, so he might not have had time to this. I don't know if that was there in the last cohort. Mm-hmm. But he's knocking out these algorithms. Great. Okay. Good. Good. And that endgame book, that's going to take a while. That's a real thing, right? That's a real thing.
That's but good stuff.
Yeah.
December 2022. Dang.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's take a look at one of Andrew's games. 60-minute classical chess. Okay. Good. Remember, kids, always study your end games. Here we go. Oh, this guy's playing aggressive repertoire. All right, here we go. Knight a5. My opening knowledge ended here. Okay. Bishop d7. This is a very fun position for white, for black too. And it's hard to know exactly what white should do, but it's not knight a4. I guarantee a lot of things in life, it ain't knight a4. And the first question I have is, what would happen if white just won a pawn? That's my first question. Yeah. I don't know. Kind of interesting question.
Good question. Yeah.
Because the problem is maybe black was thinking knight g4, but I get to do that. And then life is truly unpleasant. So I think this is a moment where black needs to come up with a plan. And maybe knight g4. So this is a hard one, honestly. Okay, so bishop d7. That's definitely not it. Pop? Yeah, go ahead.
What about just castling?
For black?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could castle. The question mark about castling, of course, is twofold. How afraid are you of f5? And how afraid are you of fe followed by bishop g5? Those would be those are the heart stoppers. Those are the heart stoppers with castle.
For sure.
Yeah. But it definitely should be on our move list, yeah.
Yeah, the only one I was really thinking about was like f5 and then d5 was definitely the intention. And then I feel like black should be all right, but yeah, that was the idea.
Okay, so pop. And here's an interesting prejudice here where white takes with the pawn, telling themselves a story that pawns are people and they need to be undoubled, when in fact your rook would kind of sort of do something on a4. Okay, knight g4.
Yeah, and actually the pawn on b3 is better than on a4 because it controls 2 squares instead of 1.
Whoa, that's deep, dude. That's pretty deep.
Today you learned.
So d4, pop. And interesting moment for white, a little frightening. So pop, good move, good. c3, that's hard to believe. Yes, okay, this is a good variation. Bishop d4 first. And then we're going to guess that Andrew missed queen f3 after queen g2. Okay, it happens. Now, all right, let's look at this for a second. One question I have about this, this is very spicy. So, and I think this might, could be a variation that Andrew could give us, but knight f2, rook f1 takes, and then b4, I guess, is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The more variations like this, the better. All right, so a5, and now white needs a good move. Maybe.
Guess so. I would have gone maybe rook f1.
Rook f1's a thought, yeah. I was wondering if I'd like to play king e2 anyway, and then could I?
Yeah.
What happens here? Maybe this is just fine for black, though, and, with f5 or d5. So I want to analyze this situazione. But it looks like black's fine after d5 or f5. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's give this a chance. Knight d4. Well, now you're just doing great, if that's the case. Yeah, you're doing great. So actually, it's an interesting moment here for white. It's like, if white can somehow consolidate this, then they're doing grand. Okay, here it is, Kostya. This is anti-intuitive, but I think it's correctamundo. King d2.
Whoa.
Right? But definitely correct, because we need to play rook e1.
I see. Maybe. Let me think
Exclam.
Exclam. Damn.
Exclam, Bobs. Exclam. Yeah, once we get rook e1 in, then it's, white has trumps as well. Okay, let's look at the game. Knight f6, good move.
Very interesting.
Good. I like this a lot. Now, rook d1. One interesting variation is h3. And I'm assuming that I will just play knight takes e5 if h3.
Yeah, definitely.
So pop, and then castles. And that is a good move. Okay, and that's a good note. Now, should we take on e5, inviting the rook to f7? That, I'm just going to say it makes me nervous. But we're definitely going to look at it. So, for example, your other option here, which also looks good, is rook d7. Just protect the bows.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only thing to maybe worry about is rook fe1, but now you've got two options, this one and that one. Both are kind of interesting, right? Yeah. Okay, so knight e5, and now, it makes me and Kostya nervous that you invited the rook in.
Right.
And now you're going after the pieszki here with rook e4. It's not good. So we need to either admit our mistakes with rook e7 / rook d7, or we need to go for broke with rook e2.
Yeah. My first thought would be rook d7, and I definitely don't think black is worse.
The advantage of rook e2 would be, I think, the following. I think taking rook g7 is insane because that's too powerful. That's the claim anyway. So if we get this endgame, that we can claim we're better.
Yeah.
Well, we're definitely better.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Now, by the way, these endings, when you say that, like this note, I probably should not have allowed white to get two connected passed pawns here. You should tell us what you think black should have done. Like me and Kostya, when I look at this position, it's not like we immediately know either. This is a difficult moment. Okay, so boom, boom. And I think, so now, this is a good note. Rook e takes d4.
That's nice. It's very nice.
So let's check it. Pop. It looks like it's true, Kostya.
Yeah, too many rooks hanging.
And here's the beauty variation. Check. We're going to call the ambulance for you, son. Thanks. So good notes. And yeah, this is great, Andrew. This is a really good notes, man. Yeah. And now, so actually, let's go back, and we're going to say that if you didn't see the trick, then there's no way that rook e4 is correct. Then if you do see then it's the interesting question, well, like if we do see the trick, should we even be interested in taking that pawn? And what would White's better move be? Obviously, if you have rook takes d4, it isn't rook g7, right?
Yeah, so something like king g2.
Maybe
right?
king g2. I have some reservations about king g2 as well, because then there's going to be a check on d2 at the end of all the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Here's like a variation that could get wild and woolly real fast. There's that check I was telling you about. And now we got ourselves an old-fashioned race.
Good old-fashioned race.
I'll tell you, I don't know exactly what's going on. I definitely have some fear. If I was White, I'd be some real fear in my heart. Like, maybe that move. I don't know, Bouse. I don't know. It's coming fast and furious, though, and I just know speed is of the essence.
Yeah.
So analyzing these kinds of endgames will really help. Okay, let's look. H4. Okay. That's a very interesting position. Okay, now, is rook g4 really all that? I'm pretty sure that this position is a draw as long as I push my pawns at the right time and in the right places. Now, let me just tell you one thing, Andrew. Don't be sure about anything here, buddy. Don't be sure about anything here. This one is wild and woolly, and this is pure madness happening here, my friend. Pure madness. Now, Kostya, are you with me? You think h4? H4 is the most intuitive way for White to play, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's usually the pawn that starts running.
Now, the thing with
hold on one sec.
Yeah.
The other move that I would maybe think about if I wanted to be like a super GM would be like rook f7, rook f2.
Okay.
And then run the pawns.
Good. That's also an option, yeah.
Because it's kind of hard to see how black makes a passer.
After that, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if I was White, this would be my first option, then your move would be next. And I would actually want to calculate, if I'm White, I think I want to calculate rook b4, rook b2. But I like it for White because I'm pretty fast, dude. I'm feeling fast anyway. I'm still frightened. I'm still frightened, but I'm feeling pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Because on rook g4, the king gets to come up with zhuzh. And then, yes, you can go and take my pawn, but you're also losing time. Okay.
Right.
Now, one of the interesting things, too, about this ending is, and it's funny, I saw it, but I didn't say anything, is here would have been more intuitive. Because then, when the check comes, you get to hide there and not allow the rook behind the pawn. Let's calculate this out. a4, h6, a3, rook here. Oh, it's pure madness. See, this is what we mean, Andrew, when we say we're not sure. That's exactly what we're meaning. This is cold and heartless. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, he's not letting me. Queen. Oh, no, Bouse. Oh, I don't know. It's hard, dude. It's hard. So definitely it's not, when you say, I'm pretty sure this position is a draw, take that back. It's not, there's no nothing. Okay, so king f2.
Yeah.
Now, when you say h5 double question mark, you need to tell us what you think White should have done. Because when White's all in at this point.
Right. Yeah, here there's either you go king f3 and then h5 or h5 and then king f3.
Okay, hold on, I don't agree. b5 doesn't look right to me. I did not want to just push my a pawn in case White managed to stop it. And I knew I had enough tempi to block White's promotion anyway, as they would need to get their pawn on g3 into the action if they wanted. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure, but let's go. Pop. Boom. See, you're playing a4 anyway, boss. You're playing it anyway. Okay, yeah, and I
Maybe
really...
it basically transposes.
Okay, but I really don't like what they did here. In fact, let's go back here for this little interesting momentito. Whew, man, it's going to get hot. So, G4, A4. Oh, this is going to just, the heat is on. Rook F7. You can play H6 too, A3. Oh, dude, this is hot. I don't know. Rook F1. Now, if A2, Rook A1, B4, H6, B3. Looks like you're kind of in time. Okay, this is mind bending. See, this is mind bending. This is mind bending. All right,
very complicated.
Let's look at what went down. And that's a typical chump move that White just did, because now he's totally pinned down. They are Baba Sheep is totally pinned down. That ain't it, son. Good game. Okay, Andrew, that was great.
I like how Andrew played it. I think he played it really well.
Yeah, he played a good game, dude. And the good notes,
the rook
too.
Behind the pawns.
Good notes. Oh, we're going to see Andrew again, my friends. So we can go back a second. And this is Andrew. And just entering the 12 to 13. You know, clearly better than... He's going to be flying past 12, 1300. Right?
Yeah, I think he was saying on stream earlier he just got the Chernev book just now. So he's grinding. He's pushing.
Yeah, Andrew, that was great, man.
Yeah, that was a big upset in that game, too. It was nice.
Cool. All right. So, is it my turn to read this thing?
Yeah.
So this is Cool Master X. The Polgar book is amazing. I have won some games from spotting mates I wouldn't have seen before, but more importantly, my board vision has improved. Looking forward to keep playing and improving. I mentioned this last time I graduated as well, but from the games I've played versus randos on Lichess, I think the Lichess to FIDE rating estimation needs tweaking. Might need. By the way, in Dojo 3.0, I think we should revise our rating calculator. Just because I'm sure when we did it, well, that was a while ago, and he just keeps inflating, right?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe, yeah. Need some adjusting.
All right,
Man,
so
Dojo 3.0. By 4.0, we're just gonna invent our own chess federation. Take over everything.
Cool Master X, 192 points. That's pretty good. Yep.
Let's go.
Normalized at 1312. Okay, that's great.
So yeah, here the Lichess is normalized 300 points above the chess.com.
And by the way, it changes because Lichess is more inflated at some areas than others. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, but first we're going to go to the last one. So, Cool Master X is flying up without doing too much work. Oh, look at this. What are they doing? Blitz. And look at that, they kind of jumped ahead because evaluate like a grandmaster's for a higher cohort. That's okay.
Probably like they're cheating with a higher book.
They're cheating with a higher book, yeah.
Nice.
Let's see when they look at this. This dude, Cool Master X is doing it, man. Joined 6:30. That's good, man.
Let's go.
Okay, let's see if Cool Master's got a game. Oh, Cool Master's got a bunch. Let's click this one. Okay.
Nice.
Beautiful. Okay, and he writes, Cool Master writes, pretty happy with this trade. Now, one of the cool things about this for White is White could have waited on taking, but the intention is actually to trade off what we're going to call the bad bishop and to get the good pawn structure, get them pointing towards the king side, and then to rage on you. Let's see if White understood. Knight f3, e6, castles, knight f6, d3, bishop e7. And then I really don't like this move, e5. So let's see what you write here. I don't think either side wants to capture here. White capturing. Okay. Now, why is e5 a horrendo move? Because When we look at your pieces, is this guy a chump or a hero? Well, we don't know yet, but I'll tell you what, after e5, it's a god. That thing is a god after e5, my friend. A god. So, e5, no good. No good. The whole point of the setup is to not ever move the pawn on e4. So a more thematic move for white would have been queen e1, trying to talk to your coconuts over here.
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, if we're talking about the aggressive repertoire, one of the things, I think it's clear that white is playing the aggressive repertoire. And it's a little bit, it's hard to, you got to understand basic principles, such as that pawn is there to shut down the bishop on c6. Okay, e5. I have some issues with, this is an interesting decision. I think knight d7 is correct because we want to keep the bishop open, and on knight d5, perhaps white could muddy the waters with knight e4. Whereas a knight d7, I'm going to get a nice position. I don't know, Kostya, you got any strong intuitions on this?
For what black should do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like knight d7.
Yeah. Okay, so knight d5. White then plays queen e1. By the way, let me just say a quick note. The dream of Federico the f-pawn. Let's talk about the dream. The dream is that it will develop the rook, and it will help develop the bishop will be later. But if the pawn gets stuck on f4, the dream's dead. So one of the reasons to keep it like this is, ideally, at some point, if we're going to move anything, it's that bad boy. That's the one that wants to move. Okay, rant over. Queen e1, I like knight e4 better. Pop, reasonable move. Weird. Thank you very much. Now you got the bishops of doom.
Whoa.
Look at those bishops. Oh, that's some good bishops. There you go, son. Now here's, you're fine. I mean, he can have one of them, but he ain't gonna get both. b5. I'm not thrilled with b5, but it's maybe not so bad.
I think it's fine.
Okay, Kostya says it's fine.
Yeah, no, black has a big advantage here.
That probably doesn't help. Notice how the dream of Federico's just simply died now. No, okay, I don't like it. Now let's see if you get the reasons right. I think this was my big mistake. After fe, bishop e5, I didn't see bishop f4. I thought I would simply gain a tempo on white's queen. So what I want you to see, okay, is that the big crime of e5 is that you are liberating two pieces of white's. That's the crime. It has nothing to do with calculation, right? I didn't see this or that. It has to do with the fact that you didn't see you're liberating the dudes.
Three pieces.
Yeah, loads of
You
pieces.
count the rook on a1. Yeah.
Yeah. So the other candidate moves would be rook d5, b4. You got loads of other moves.
Right. Yeah, 100% the play here is to pile up on the d pawn, which is backwards, and not to trade off white's f pawn, which is just in the way.
Okay. By the way, I guess this bishop f6, well, it makes me a little nervous. I'm going to say it makes me nervous. But bishop f4, certainly you're still better because your king is better. It's got more pawns in front of it. So even here, you're still better. Rook e1, I don't like rook e1. I think he should try to mess with you with rook af1. Now we're trading some stuff off. Making me nervous.
Ooh.
Whoa. Some people here doing a lot of things. Okay, now this is a good variation because, right, we'd like to play queen e6, but then we are worried about queen takes c5. Okay. This would also be good if we knew the times that were spent, because a lot of times we go over these and we see that people actually didn't use that much time, whereas here, if I'm black, well, I'm going to spend a long time here.
Yeah, queen e6 might win the game.
And then if queen e6 doesn't work, I'm going to think about queen e8, yada, yada, right? Okay. One great rule of queen endings is the side with the more centralized queen is better. Okay. Oh, and I like that annotation too. It would be nice to say why, right? But yeah, I like this annotation. Okay, now white goes for it with queen b4. We've got a couple pawning games today here, Kostya. Again, if you don't like the move, tell us what you think white should have done. A very spicy move here would be to play c4, allowing this with the claim that our c-pawn is going to run. And I'm just going to play on a couple moves just because it's a instructive position. If you keep checking me, I'm going to keep coming closer. And if you play something like this, we're going to run. Now, am I 100% sure about, the details? No, but it's precisely the kind of thing that I want to do, because I want to, in the queen endgame, we're going to say that pass pawns are always important, but the value of the centralized queen and the value of the pass pawn goes dramatically up in the queen ending. It just skyrockets, dude. It goes out of control because there's nothing to blockade the thing. There's no blockado of the pano. Okay.
Also, Jesse, can we go back a couple moves?
Yeah, where do you want to
move like 25?
Okay.
Yeah, like just looking through the notes, I noticed some bias after takes.
So takes.
Yeah. I think black played this queen c8 move to cover queen b8 check.
Right.
Not wanting to lose the pawn. But then the back rank really should have been fixed very, very quickly. So like queen c8, d4, takes on c3. Yeah, bc. I think here would already make sense to play like h6 or something.
Something like that, yeah. Something like that.
But also just based off the notes, it seemed like... That's okay. It's all good. We can keep going.
Kostya wants to sit you down on his couch, but he's afraid to do it in public. Okay? Cool, master? He's afraid to do it in public. No, it's an interesting question. One thing also, dynamic that's really kind of interesting is when you have the extra pawn in front of your king, it's much better to have more pieces on the board so that you can persecute the white king. Now, though, but now they're a problem for you, and this guy's going. Now, queen b4. Now, what I want to know is, to what extent had you calculated this bad boy? Because I can tell you right now, this pawn endgame is going to get hot. Let's go. Now, my first gut instinct, Kostya, is f5. That we need to play f5 both to get our king a closer shot and because we're going to need to make a pass pawn over there.
Get the majority going. Yeah.
My gut is king f8. We're losing. Let's go look. Okay. So if we actually, we'll do a compare and contrast here. So if we had played f5, pop, pop, it still actually leads to the same thing. So Kraai has to shut up. Kraai has to shut up. It leads to the same thing.
F5 was a good.
It was the right question though. Still in the right spirit of things. Okay.
Who here has more of an outside pass pawn? Like, is it white?
Oh yeah.
White has more of the outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now a4 is played. I think it's just lost because this is going to be our invasion square after we commit you to go after our pawn. Yeah. So let's see if I'm right about that. A4.
I guess
G5.
a key point here is that like when white pushes the queen side, eventually everything just gets liquidated, and then there'll be enough pawns on the king side for white to win. But if black had 2 versus 1 on the king side, then black could just do the same thing and liquidate everything. But here black can't trade off all the pawns. So white is enough on the king side.
And one thing we can say about this is, first of all, this f4, so what black did was very clever and set up like a secure structure over there. And then I'm going to say the path for white should definitely now be to play h4.
Yeah.
Right? So now this pawn will be easily our victim.
Nice.
We might be able to play h4 later too, but since there's nothing that black can do right now, we should play h4 now. Because you'll see later.
H3 I think might be good too.
h3. Okay, you could play. Yeah, true. Okay, h3 also works. Same idea. Because you're going to see the way this goes down. And it looks like Cool Master's done some good analysis with king e4. But let's just show what the problem is. Uh-oh. Someone burned themselves. Now, this would be good if we got to see the timestamp, because I have a feeling king g6 might have been played pretty quickly. You know, this whole thing. A lot of times we look at this level of game, by the way, and we see people just burning, just...
Yeah.
And as you can tell, me and Kostya don't know immediately either. This is where these endgame positions where you have to calculate, it's deep system 2 thinking. You know, it's the
Me saying they're both down to under 10 minutes. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, that was some
tough.
good annotation, dude. So Cool
you got
Master's
him.
coming up. Cool Master's coming up. And look at that, some pretty good games too. Yeah.
Great. Keep it up.
And Cool Master's probably going to have to do more points next time. It's not going to be so easy. It's not going to be so easy, Cool Master. It's going to get a little tough for your buddy.
Yeah. Maybe some more books. Some blue. Need some blue in
Need
your
a little
chart.
blue in there, yeah. Okay, this is GDS. I think it's you to read, Kostya Coast.
Okay. GDS graduating 12 to 1300. Says enormously helpful all around. Love the program. It's greatly helpful. Glad to hear. That was the intention.
Yeah, that was the intention.
Make it super helpful.
We got to say it wasn't 12 to 13. That was his old one, Kostya Coast. He's 13, 14 now. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, he's going from 12 to 1300.
No, he's going to 13 to, well, okay. He's going to, okay, I understand. I understand what you're saying, Bob. Let's click on GDS here. 126 points. Thank you very much. One trick that Kostya taught me is if I scroll all the way down, I can see when they joined. So May of this year, right after 2.0 was launched.
Basically. Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go to their old cohort, 45 points, a lot of endgame. Let's see. Some Silman, dude. There you go. Some algorithm. Good. And then we got some tactics, some mates in 2, 380 of them. There we go. Okay. Winning Chess Tactics. Now, here's the point I want to make. Like, Winning Chess Tactics, fine book. But at this level, they're not nearly doing the tactics books as much as in the under 1,000, where they're doing that everyone's first chess workbook like a fiend. You know, they're fiending on that book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see if we get a game here. All right. So this is a casual classical game. We might get the timestamps here too. No, we don't, I guess. Or we might sometimes get the timestamps. Yep. Okay. Out of my preparation. The bishop seems misplaced, however, as my plan in the exchange Queen's Gambit declined is e3, bishop d3, f3. Okay. I think bishop b4 has to be playable. It's a little spicy because normally we wouldn't want to give up that bishop. Okay. Queen c2, castles, e3, and then whether they play h6 first or second, I think, right, c5 is the way for black to pursue this madness here. Mm-hmm. This, especially back in the day, this was a popular variation. And that looks like a blunder. Thank you. Thank you. Go back. Yeah. Now, interestingly, does black have counterplay with c5? And maybe they do. That's kind of an interesting question. My gut is no. Well, they might. This is actually, it's a real spicy moment here for white.
Yeah, not easy at all. First instinct is something like a3. Trying to clarify the situation.
Now, again, I do this all the time, but when you don't like your move, you need to tell us what you think you should have done. It's very important. Yeah, really important. We got it is because it's not clear. It's not clear what's happening here. Yeah. Okay. One thing, by the way, I don't know if you know about this, Kostya, but Jack has done this thing now where if you submit the game and there's like, let's say you put a question mark, but you don't say a move that is an improvement, I think it now gives you a prompt being like bows. Didn't you want to say something here?
Yeah, we're introducing a little paperclip helper.
Yeah.
People annotating their games. It seems like you were trying to annotate a variation. Would you like to suggest an alternative?
Like here's where, by the way, this is very interesting chess. And I'm in principle wanting you to take on h7. Personally, I would have put the king there for black. But in any case, let's look at this variation Kostya said, because that gets pretty hot pretty fast. Pop, pop, pop. And now queen takes is going to be hit with d4. Now, you can see, though, the problem with the king here. But problem schmoblem, you're still, white's the one who's getting a little bit of zhuzh, you know, into his, I'm not going to say it. Kostya doesn't like it when I talk it like that, you know. So this is still really hot. But I want to stress, I don't know if I have an answer here. I especially don't have the answer if black had put his king on h8. Because look at this, knight e2, whoops. You know, that was no, I'd like to play knight e2. That's no bueno, though.
Well, it seemed like a3 was playable. You could take on c3 with the pawn.
Maybe it's the best move, but I'm just saying it ain't pleasant for a peasant because you're down in time, and now I'm going to threaten another thing with knight takes b4. So you got to lose another tempo.
Yeah.
And I don't know, and that's coming next. I want to open this bad boy up. I'm angry. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, good composition for black. I agree.
Okay. Now, see, I haven't really been paying as much attention to the chat. So if I've missed it, it's Kostya's fault, you know, because he's here and he's a millennial and he's got screen size things happening so he can see everything.
Yeah. We learned today that Jesse just maximizes all windows.
All right, this is a hot line here. Wow. This is really hot. So he's saying DE3. Oh man, that's a hot move. Whew. DE3 castles. Whew, man. Bishop C3, Queen C3. Pop, 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 boom. That's probably a fair evaluation, by the way. And then knight c6, saying this was the best one. Dang, knight c6, that's chess right there. Dang.
Wow.
That's real chess, yep. Dang. Okay, GDS, you're showing me something here. Was that cheap? Check to the miserable. Oh, Queen H4 wasn't it? Now we're getting our stuff, our cojones back. Oh, yeah, look at this. Give it all to me. Check to the bishop. We're just moving around a little bit. Check to the knight. That's over. Okay. Pretty good as well, dude. Pretty good as well. Oh, that was pretty interesting.
But clearly a lot of work into these annotations, right?
And one of the cool things you can see with the cohort games, games are just 5 games that are well annotated in the cohort, is that the kind of level of annotation, the level of annotation goes up, and the kinds of things that people are doing, the depth and quality of the variations goes up. So you can see it goes up as we move up in the cohorts. So GDS, we got a lot of people moving up. Let's look, and GDS is clearly going to go up more. Let's click on this. So, gosh, that was such a strong game, and then especially that analysis of the compensation for black. By the way, that position where, black, you won the pawn, and it was actually quite dangerous for you, is a really good illustration of the kinds of dangers when you are, you grab a pawn. I think black did just blunder it. but it turned out to be actually very dangerous. So that's like a good learning experience of smelling the danger, maybe even when they blunder, with bishop f6, bishop h7. Yeah. Okay. Well, clearly GDS is going to move up because that's high. He's higher than 1300. Okay. Recent. Boom. And now we're going to have to click to the next. And Wolves is graduating again. And I think I'm reading this one, right? Here we go. Here we go again. That's right. Here we go again. Wolves. The hard work finally pays off. Second graduation in 3 weeks. Unfortunately, this is due to the German rating system, which comes in delayed usually. After a 7-round tournament, I made it over 1400. Will get my first FIDE ELO soon as well. By the way, Jesse, in the grad show last time you put the question, I play for a lower team, Kreisliga, at the Schachklub Norris Tarasch Nürnberg, 1873. There we go. Relatively many younger players and more than 150 members helps finding something like a cohort. Brilliant, dude. Brilliant. Comment same as last time. Play longer time controls. Analyze. Beautiful. Now, let me just tell you how beautiful the German Bundesliga is. Okay, let me just tell you. So you got the first league, okay, and the first league is all of Germany. Then you got the second league, which is Germany split up into 4 different parts. Then you got the Oberliga, okay, and then that's, the 4 different parts split up even more. And then I don't know if Kreisliga is after Oberliga, but it's down there, right? And the cool thing is then a lot of these teams get pumped up and they're like, well, I'm ready to move up, so then they get some GMs or something. Even sometimes in the Oberliga and the Kreisliga, you got some GMs playing top boards and you might find yourself playing against one of them and your team gets all pumped up. They start training together, doing cohort training. Oh, buddy, good times, man. I'll tell you, when we went up we worked hard, dude, to go second Liga to the first Liga. That was a big deal. Oh, man, it felt great, man. And this whole thing, when you have 150 members, it means you're going to have a scaffolding of various teams going down. And so not only can your team go up, but then if you raise your rating, they'll call you up for the higher team. Beautiful. Jamil's going to be playing in some kind of London league, hopefully, this next year. And they have a little bit of that, but it's not as organized as the German Bundesliga.
That's what we need more of. More leagues for the dojo to play in.
Yeah.
That team aspect, so fun. Yeah, we don't have leagues here.
Okay, well, let's check out Wolves here.
Yeah, great stuff.
Okay, so this is the German one. Oh, you know what? Let's. I've never clicked on one of these. Let's go click. Boom.
Yeah. Crab says he wants Maryland to destroy Missouri. Man, Missouri will take on any state. Are you kidding me? We'll take on Olympiad teams here.
So I can't look at dude's info because I haven't joined the site. I don't know if that's true, boss, because the thing that he's talking about, Crab, is when you go at the U.S. Open, you have to have a girls representative for the herring. You have to have a senior. You got to have a denker. And you got to have a barber. And Missouri don't got that, dude. They got
We'll
at the
stack
very
it.
top, but they don't got it to compete. And me and
We'll-
Krabby
we'll
Krab,
s-
if he
we'll
makes it,
stack
we're
it.
gonna mess some people up, dude.
We'll import some strong juniors from other states. Stack the tournament.
We lost New York, crushed everybody, and I thought we had a chance because I won the senior, so at least I did my part for Maryland, dude. But
Oh, New York won, huh?
New York won. No, dude, Missouri. They have Eckert. I think he wasn't even there, but so like they had like a 21, 22 for the senior, and then I don't know who
Yeah,
they
we need
got for
Yasser to
Dinker.
play. Come on, Yasser. You gotta play the senior.
Yasser don't want to taste it anymore, dude. If he loses to some chump like me, oh man, this is not gonna be a happy day for Yasser, dude. He doesn't want a piece of me, dude.
It's just pain.
It's just
for
like a
him, yeah.
lose-lose situation for him. Hey, imagine me going over the game here on the site. Me,
That's true.
know,
Humiliating.
him taking my pawns and me mating him. How'd you like that? Yes or yes? Yeah, take those pawns, you fool. Take them.
Yeah, I didn't realize you guys are diametrically opposite.
Well, the thing about it is so interesting actually about Yasser, dude, is, so what we're talking about is Yasser's famous for his materialism. And the way this all went down, though, is because Yasser had the incredible opportunity to train with Korchnoi way back in the day. And Korchnoi was the original materialist, So there you go. That's how the values get inculcated. Okay, my friends, let's get out of here. Wait,
Is that it?
No, that's not it, boss. What are we saying? Sorry. So this is Wolves. And Wolves is just flying. He's just flying here. 62 hours. That's great, man. And then we're going to look at a game here from Wolves against Wallet. Now, what are we talking about, Wallet? There's some dude named Wallet. Bombay Open. I played, I'm not sure it was Bombay. Anyways, it was a rapid tournament. I was just thinking about this the other day because there's this fool on Twitter. He's actually okay, but he's got some foolish notions named Studer who was saying you don't have to learn the bishop and knight. And I'm pretty sure it was in Bamberg. I played a rapid tournament. It was the last round, and I had to win. And there was some GMs in the tournament, and I was playing this dude, and he liquidated into a bishop and knight, and I had 10 seconds left on the clock, and you better believe, buddy, I nailed that bad boy. Take that, Studer.
Thanks.
Here we go. Nice
Calling
openings.
him out.
Wolves is playing an aggressive repertoire right here. Well played. Well played. Well played. Nothing special here. Black basically let me develop in my preferred way. I'd give an edge to white here. These are good notes, Wolves. And your English is pretty good too, boss, gotta say. Queen b6. Oh, I have a terrible sense that maybe we had gone over this game in last week. Hold on. It's looking very familiar. Hold on. Yeah, it's looking very familiar.
It's from July 30.
Do you remember this, boss? Because this would be from last week.
Oh, this would have been us, huh?
This would have been us, boss.
I don't remember that.
I'll tell you what. We're just going to do the next game because I have a vague memory of this wallet game. So we're going to look
Maybe
at
you did
Schulze.
it week before.
We're going to look at Schulze here. So here we go. Okay. Nothing wrong here. Fine.
Bamberg.
I actually had a friend of mine recommend this move back in the day, knight f3. And in general, people get really happy when they're black because they get to develop the bishop. But the interesting bummer here for black is that we're just playing the reverse colors, Baus. And so you can trade it, get happy about it too, but we are going to eventually occupy e5 and play for typical Carlsbad structure play. Oh, baby, that's a move. Dang.
Ooh.
Dang, that's a good move. Okay, that one had to hurt.
Schultz's dojo.
Dang. Yeah, Schultz's dojo, man. Schultz, buddy. That's an evil one right there, man. Now, we got to say about Queen E2. first of all, the correct Amundo move is the castle. And it's not clear to me what you're doing with queen e2. So you might feel bad positionally. That's an easy one to miss, man. That's a bummer. And congratulations to your opponent for finding this bad boy. Okay. This is just bummer. Okay, I think you're probably right. Got to do that one. Good move. Might as well try.
But why not king d8 for black?
King d8 right here.
No. Instead of knight b5.
Oh. Kostya, you want it all, buddy.
That would have been unpleasant.
Wait, are you sure you want this? Let's say I go queen d3.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other one, you just get a nice position. This is a little complicated.
Actually, it's the same if you're just gonna take and go queen c6 anyway. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's no big point to this.
You could argue that. Well, if I go check to the miserable king, you could argue that this is a better version, but it's
C6,
a little scarier for black to do it this way.
Yeah, no need.
King d7, good move. We're going for cheap tricks. Black should play e6. Oh, e5's even a good one. Good move. Good move. Good notes. And I would say white is lost here because it's really kind of a principle of two advantages. With the pawn, the center, and the bishop on g6 is a great piece. I would have taken that thing. Well, you don't have to either way. Good move, f3. I like that. Yeah, good move, f3. In the post-mortem, my opponent told me that he saw that this move was a mistake and invites me back into the game directly after playing it. Ooh, your opponent's very tactically gifted, my friend. Look at this. The opponent's seeing knight ec6. And actually, let's just say, Wolves here is playing up 400 points. Yeah. So we'll say about knight d7, it is correctly motivated because you just dominated that knight. So the move that, first of all, remember, when you put a question mark, tell us what you think black should have done. And so rook c8 makes a lot of sense. Developing, plus you can play knight d7 next move. Okay. Missed it, though? I have some misgivings about e5. It can't be terrible, but black is so solid here, and there's so many different ways to improve the position without loosening the structure. And this just loosens a little bit. And knight e2 I'm not thrilled with. How about we go to c2, and then we can maybe poke at this weak pawn later. g5, again, I don't like it. For black. He's thinking pawns are people or something. And white needs to pronto put something on the d file. Rook ad1. And I suspect you didn't realize you were going to be dominated with g6 there. This guy's a pawn player. This guy is Schultze. Hey, Schultz, move your pieces, bows.
Hey, he's playing the Caro. You know what they say.
What do they say, dude?
All pawns, no hope.
I never heard that before, man. All pawns, no hope.
You don't remember that?
No, I've never heard that, dude.
Oh, it's from Queen's Gambit. Famous song.
Oh, man, okay. So, okay, see, finally some pieces. I don't understand why black doesn't play knight b6, but there you go. Now, you need some counterplay pronto, so maybe a4 here would be a practical try. You also need to fix your knight. And this is sad, rook c1. That's just sad, Bowers. That's just sad. You're just being sad. Now, again, I like this. At least you're trying something. The other last couple of moves were just sad, making me want to cry. That thing about the no hope was really... Offered a draw in a last attempt. Now, let me just say something here, Wolves. It ain't cool. It ain't cool to offer a draw here. Okay, let me try to explain. If your opponent was much lower rated, then I would be okay with it. But you're down a pawn against a higher rated player. Don't do it. Don't do it. So it's bad etiquette. And then second, there might come a time when your opponent gets a little flustered. Maybe they mess things up. And then that would be your moment, because you can't offer twice, right? Can't offer twice. So that would have been your moment. So there's a practical and ethical problem with knight e2. All right, knight h5, a little fancy. A little fancy. I don't know if it's necessary. Check to the miserable king. And what you're doing here is you're being, you put yourself in el pasivo situazione. That's got to be good. Well, actually, let's... F5 at least gave you the potential of CD4 maybe being playable. But you can't... Rook H1 isn't it, right? You only have one try, really, and that's LCD4. Let's look at your variation here.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, okay, our basic problem is if we go here, this is a bummer. Okay. But let's say I say check to the miserable king. And I don't know where black should go yet. Let's try e6 first. Okay, and then I say king d3. No, can't do... Well, king d3 runs into rook d4. Well, let's say I sit. Now, is it probably lost? Probably. But if I'm black, I'm going to be really upset that I even allowed this. I'll be very upset because I think it was over before. Like if I go back to this position right here, look at the sadness. Look at the sadness on White's face here. No. King d5 resigns. Purely over, right? Now if CD ever, I trade it all off and bring the bad boy into the business.
Yeah. That's game.
That's game, right? Okay, so we had to try that. And one of the things, the takeaways I want you to have here, Wolves, is even when you're getting cooked and things go bad, we can't be making moves like this, okay? So let's publicly shame you for this move, A3. It does nothing. And you need to at least try to get your dudes moving. Knight F1, knight somewhere. You got to stay. The knight needs to dream. He's the one that's all pawns, no hope. You're not that way. You're not that way, Wolves. You got some hope left, son. You're playing in bomb bag. Come on. All right, cool. Let's go and check out the next one. Wolves, we're looking forward to seeing you again. I love the story of playing in the Bundesliga. Hopefully, we'll get some other people playing the Bundesliga as well. All right.
Good fight against the 400 point higher rated opponent.
Moly.
You just need a lot of those games, and they're gonna push you and punish you. But of course, you'll learn from them, and as you see, you will almost always get chances, even against much higher rated players.
Kempis, thank you for subscribing. All right, Baus. Now you read this, Ricardo. Ricardo's been on the show before.
Ricardo, second graduation. Congrats, going into the 1500 cohort. In this cohort, I stayed less than 3 months. Nice. It was awesome. 2 things helped me a lot. Polgar mates in 2. Every single day when I wake up, I do about 10 puzzles.
Oh, there you go.
See, it's the consistency. Yeah, I feel like just doing little things every day. That's the way to do it. And annotated classical games with colleges from Dojo. Colleagues from Dojo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Another big achievement in these months was to play 1 OTV classical tournament. Nice. The third in my life with more than 50 rating points gained. I will play in October under 1700 regional OTB event. definitely liking the program. Thanks, Ricardo. The community also helps me to improve my English fluency from Brazil. Doing great, Ricardo, on all aspects.
Oh, this
Chess,
is great, dude.
English,
Yeah.
program.
Yeah,
Well done.
your English is awesome, dude. I didn't know that you were not a native speaker just reading it. Okay. So let's click on this. This is great, dude. All right. So 150 points, going up to 1502. I've looked at some of Bob Zabar's games before, and then we got a FIDE one too. Look at that, 54. So normalized to 1355. Okay, here we go. Nice. Let's
Seems
click on this.
accurate.
Let's click on this here, man.
The
Let's see what happens.
normalized feed.
Oh, there he is. That's pretty cool, man. Individual calculations. Let's load. Or rating progress chart. Okay, that's pretty good. Look at that. That's what we call an upward trend right there.
Nice.
Nice, dude. Okay, great. Activity. So we're gonna go back one. Boom. Oh, look at that. That's some pretty good. 35 hours. Definitely. Only a touch of. People have been pretty good. I haven't seen a lot of big reds, on the opening. Yeah. I almost sang the commercial for Big Red, the chewing gum, but I didn't, Kostya, because I was like, Kostya's not going to know that song.
I know the gum. Yeah, I don't remember. That
With Big Red. Okay, here we go. Silman endgame, positional sparring. I like it a lot.
song.
All right,
Man, let's go.
let's do some tactics. Mate and twos, look at that. 640. He's been cranking the main twos. That's really great, man. Okay. And we got some games. Let's click middle games real quick just to see. Oh, it's not letting me click. Okay. There we go. That's really good. All right, now boom. Very good. Okay. So time breakdown looks also good. And we're gonna scroll to the bottom, see when it joined. So this year in June. That's pretty recent.
Nice.
All right, that's really great. Look at those. Look at that. Updated mate and two every day, boss. Oh, look at that. Look at that. 20 minutes, 25, 15, 30, 25. Every day, boss. Sometimes multiple times a day. There
Fantastic.
we go.
That's how you do it.
That's how you
Honestly,
do
it's such a hack. I was talking about this earlier on stream. If you want to get anything done, just turn it into a progress bar that you can update, and it'll just get done magically. You just do it. It just happens.
All right, let's go. All pawns, no hope.
That's right.
You see this less now, but it's an interesting Botvinnik approach. And this is fine. Fine, dude. Fine. Knight g5. So knight g5 is a little frisky. I like your queen d2 move fine too. Knight g5 I'm a little suspect of. a3. Now let me show you something. The reason you're playing h6 here is because you think the knight's doing something there. You think it's touching your coconuts. No. It's like Top Gun. It's like you're never supposed to leave your wingman, and the knight has left the center, right? So your default move, I think, should be one at like either rook c8 or taking or queen d7. One of those moves, right? One of those, because this knight's a chump. That guy's not doing anything there. And now maybe you might lose a tempo to queen d2 later. All right, so there comes queen d2. Knight g4. Now you go on a hunt, but it looks like you're losing a pawn.
Whoa.
So we need some question marks here, right?
Yeah, I see the note. It was a big problem for me. How can I resolve it? I mean, the straightforward move is just king h7, in such situation. Was king h7 not possible there for some reason? Did I miss something?
Well, but by the way, you got a lot of different moves here. One move would be knight e4. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Sure.
Is it me you're looking for? You don't know
I
that
just
song
mean
either, do you?
if we don't want to do anything nuclear.
Look at nuclear. This is like a little kind of Groomfeld setup. 94 is the thing. That ain't nuclear. You know, that's just a normal business, coasty
I
coast.
just mean you just defend your pawn and then you can play 94 next move. You don't know. It's just no. I'm just going off of the note on 13
I got it.
Queen
I got
D2.
it. Yeah.
He said it's a big problem. I don't see the big problem.
But one of the things I want you to see here, though, check it out, is both sides are committing their knights to the side of the board, and it ain't good. And this one, unfortunately, has the tactical problem that you now, well, a lot of bad things happen. Maybe the biggest bad thing is now this pawn is protecting its coconut. All right, here we go. Knight A5, Queen B4. Okay. That's a pretty good move. Yeah. Rook AC1. Okay. Good move. Okay, getting a little fancy. I don't know, maybe. Okay. So let's just say the obvious. You're worse here, but you do have some bishops. Bishop F6 looks like it's hard. You're having trouble finding a plan, right? It's not super easy, honestly. Okay, Bishop F6. I'm just gonna poke around the dark squares.
I think
Yeah.
what I would do there is go bishop takes either D3 or F3 and then E5.
Let's look at Kostya's move.
That would be the way to get counterplay.
Let's take this one. I'll go E5, and I think Kostya's thought is if D5, we go Papa.
Yeah. By Papa, you mean E4, then yeah. A little delayed. Yeah, just to open up the dark square bishop, I think super important here. Even if you somehow end up down a pawn, should be very, very open for all the pieces.
Good move, Kostya. Good move, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we got to say, at the very least, it looks like White's kind of justified what you were doing here. Because at least you got some pressure on the E3 square.
Right.
Yeah, you keep coming for them on the dark squares.
I like these annotations.
Yeah.
You can tell the caps is... You can tell the anger is fueling the player.
What do you mean the caps, dude?
Oh, there are some all caps. If you scroll up a bit.
Oh, okay.
The notes.
I want to see the all caps. That's right. I sometimes, when you get old enough, Kostya, you can all cap, and it doesn't mean you're screaming necessarily. It's like you just want to highlight it, Bows.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. So 95, and then Bishop F4 is a crime. Not only because of any kind of pawn question, but that's like your main asset is that beautiful dark square bishop. Good move by your opponent. And I guess we're toast, huh? Yeah, that's good night, Lucy, right there. White doesn't even bother to mate us. They just do it this way. Yeah. Bang. Bang. Okay. Okay, you can take on C4. Good. Well, that was great, Ricardo. That was really good, man.
Yeah, good notes.
That's great notes. And I think, hopefully, if you're just watching the show from the beginning to the end, you can see, like, we're going up in the cohorts, and the strength of the annotations is really going up. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
a lot
good.
more depth and detail. But great work. If you annotate all of your losses like that, guys, you will gain a lot from it.
Okay, I think I get to read Luke's comment here. Hi, I was new and 1723 ChessCom, so almost 1750. Now I played 2 matches and I am 1764. Now I can make a good start to the dojo and improve more. Okay, let's check Luke out.
Nice.
41 points, 15-14. Okay, that makes sense to me. 13 years old. There we go, dude. There we go. I just want to say, there's a couple demographics I want to see grow, especially. Of course, I just want us to grow in general, but I'd say the over 2,200 FIDE group, I want that. I want more women and girls in the program. And now, especially, we had several people who are teenagers. That'd be great to be in the program. Now, there's been me and Kostya fight a little bit about kids in the program. And by kids, I guess I would mean people younger than, I don't know, 12 or something, in the sense that there could be concerns about, parental concerns about being in the Discord with a bunch of people that you don't know. Chess Latte, that kid was like 8. That kid was like 8 when he started with us. And he was like more mature than all of us put together. So there's always exceptions to the rule. Yeah, poor Chess Latte, not poor Chess Latte, but Chess Latte's in Japan, so we're seeing a little bit less of him these days. Okay, let's look at Luke's activity. And Luke, he hasn't done much yet. So hopefully let's just join though. Just join like last week. Yeah. Look at this. I think I saw REP in here somewhere. Did I see that right? Unchecked rook endgame progression match 1. I guess that means, I don't know what that means.
You checked it by accident.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
do we have some games? We do. I'm going to guess a 13-year-old would name himself. Okay, Kostya, do you think a 13-year-old from the Netherlands would name himself Fire Dead or Banana Flipper? I'm going to go with Banana Flipper, boss.
Both are candidates.
All right,
I'll take Fire Dead. I'll take the odds.
Okay. Now, Luke, you got to give us more annotations, bows. Oh, you were right, though. Damn, I hate it when Kostya's
Fire
right.
Dead. Let's go.
Okay. Now, Luke, you just started. I get it. But we're going to need to see a little bit more bows. A little bit more. And this will be, if this is interesting for us, it'll be, now we're going to get the times, because this was played on Lichess, so we'll see how fast this game was played. Oh, maybe we won't. At least I'm not seeing the times at the bottom here. See, we're seeing the times on the sides, but we're not seeing times, I don't know, over here.
Mm-hmm.
Fire Dead. Wait a second. Why did I assume that it was Fire Dead who was Luke?
I don't know.
I don't know, maybe I am right.
Yeah. I guess if the account is connected, you can click on Luke and see.
Okay, yeah, we'll check.
Oh, Chad is saying he's playing black here. Okay, thanks, guys.
So I was right, bows. Fire Dead, Banana Flipper. My 13-year-old self would have called myself a Banana Flipper too, my friend. There you go.
True. Okay.
Okay, now you can see I'm going through this quickly just because I would want more notes in here. But we are going to go through this game.
Yeah, you got to tell us your thoughts, Luke, like what you were thinking, where you thought you could have done better, where your opponent could have improved.
King. Like we got to say Bishop D4 was a mistake,
Ooh. Yeah.
Now I think we're crispy critters. Ooh, look at that knight. Now, this knight, oh man. He's got to go to therapy, man. That knight's got to go to therapy. Okay. I'm still a Banana Flipper at heart. That's right. Okay, cool. Banana Flipper, we're hoping to see you because you're clearly a young lad who's going to progress quickly, and you just joined. So there it is. There it is. Luke's going to make it. All right, let's go next. And we got a couple more good graduations coming up here, namely Paolo and Crazy Crab coming up. Okay. All right, Coach, I think you get to read this one, boss, and then I get to read Krabby Crab.
Okay, you got Crab. Nice. All right, Paulo, graduating to 1500. Nice. Most helpful thing about the program is that I am slowly learning how to analyze games. I'm still using the engine, but only after a first analysis without it. Good. So I can understand how my human mind works. But I will need to make many more analyses to truly get the most of my games and mistakes. Holger mates help me visualize better too, but I need to keep going at it to see more benefits. I was not so far from the rapid rating to graduate at the beginning of my chess dojo journey, and I had already the classical rating required. That means I am anticipating a much tougher challenge to graduate from the next cohort. Let's keep it up. Yeah, it only gets harder from here, but we build you into it, right? Slowly, bit by bit, we kind of gradually scale up the work. So as you're advancing, you're slowly doing more and more. But yeah, it's all about making consistent progress in your plans.
That was a great little note. I enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah.
So 67 points, right? And let's see what they've done to get here. 25, right? So not that long. Let's go down here and see when they joined here. So June 30th, so not too long in the program, and pretty good distribution, but not that much, right? Not that much. And so, right, it'll probably be the next one will maybe take, say, well, let's guess 100 to 200 points and probably over 100 hours. At this level, that's just what you should tell yourself, it will require that kind of commitment to make it. All right, let's click on games. All right, Talfan. Let's see if Talfan brings it here. Okay, so. Oh, here we go. This is a dojo game. That's great, dude. Okay. There we go. Fine. He read Mark Esserman's book. Okay, here we go, dude. Boop. This is what Kostya likes to do against the this C3 stuff as well.
Don't let him have any fun.
Okay, I'm not a huge fan of Queen D4. I like Bishop C4 here. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with Queen D4. Well, maybe there is. But in any case, this feels to me like this is more in the spirit of the opening. I don't know, Kostya, if you have strong feelings on that.
Yeah, I think Bishop C4 is more natural, right?
Okay, because here, the big problem is now your pawn is here, kind of like a Caro Kann player, all pawns, no hope. There you go, E6. Pop. And this is, by the way, like, let's say this is true of a GM as well as of anybody. When you get a position that feels a little hokey and Esserman's turned on his computer here and has some ideas, like knight BD2, that's going to be hard to remember. That's going to be a lot harder to remember than the play after a natural move like Bishop C4. And one of the nice things about the Smith-Morra is that it gives people like a really clear path of how to develop their pieces. Here, it's not easy to know how to develop your stuff, right? Okay, so here we go. That Bishop on C6 is looking awful good. Okay. Good move. H5, good. Top move from the computer. Makes a lot of sense. And in general, I would say if I was talking to Black, I would say the narrative is that your bishops are amazing, bishops plural, and especially that bishop on C6. Okay, and now we got several moves here. H4 is pretty spicy, man. Look at that. Definitely not the only move. And then Rook H6 next. Yeah, so playing Talfan, it's not easy playing Talfan. One thing actually, I see. It says, didn't it say that my opponent is far better rated than me? But one of the weird things is if we look at least the Lichess thing, it's saying that White was the higher rated. But okay, I don't know. H4 is, at least the spirit of the move, really good. I like White's position, Black's position, by the way. Even this one looks interesting. But okay, H4. And now a big question is, is H3 the mortal threat that you feared it to be? So, for example, I'd be interested in the move rook e1, allowing h3, and then playing knight e4. Just I feel like I gotta develop the Daog. Another way actually could be, yeah, you gotta develop the Daog. So h3, knight e4. And I don't know exactly what's going on, but if I was black, I would be like, Bose, am I feeling guilty about moving my pawns all the way? You know? Anyways, h3, it's at least interesting. Do I believe it? Okay, well, we're about to find out. And knight h4 ain't it, huh? That's not it. So tactical mistake brought on by good pressure by black. Yeah. Black played really well, dude. Really well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rook a8. Oh, he means rook h8. Yeah, rook h8. Absolutely.
That'd be nice.
I also don't understand rook h5, but okay, so it looks like well. Pretty high quality game, dude.
Yeah.
Dang. Take it easy. Take it easy, Bose. Oh, man. First of all, one thing you should say is this dude played some moves that were beyond the level of your current cohort, right? So if we go back, you're in the 1600 cohort. The dude played some GM level moves, dude.
Definitely play much better, than 1600 for sure.
Yeah. So you shouldn't
Paul
feel
is
bad
gonna be
about
making
that.
more progress. Yeah.
And then I think what we're going to see is like you're really pretty new to the program, and then the next level will just be a harder ask, And like I said, it'll be probably 100 to 200 points of work. Okay, that's great though. Now let's check out Krabby Krab, my favorite of the dojo.
Krabby
Krabby
Krab.
So we go click. And he's been waiting all day for this because this show's been going on for hours. Kostya's dying. Oh, and I get to read it. Kostya's like, wait a second, Jesse, my avocado toast, buddy. What's going on?
Going bad.
I think improving on two things led me to be able to get to 1600. The first is playing longer games and then bribing my friends nicely who are rated 2000 to tell me what I did wrong in them. Secondly, I think that studying endgames has helped a lot. This is mostly because the knowledge has given me the confidence to go into endgames, even if they aren't the exact theoretical ones that I've studied. Going forward, I'm pretty much only going to play over the board. I need to be at least 1600 USCF to have the slightest chance of qualifying to the Maryland Sweet 16. So this is the qualification to play in the the Denker. And then the Denker, of course, is the tournament of high school champions, which will be at the next year's U.S. Open. I hopefully will win the Maryland Senior. And then me and Krabby Krab are going to go down there. It's going to be in Virginia somewhere. Thus, that is where I'm going to focus my energies going forward. Oh, and my positional understanding is still weak. This is a funny last line. He wrote a sensei question. We have that in our Discord where you can ask us a question. And, he was talking about how he should organize his time. One of the things I said, just looking at some of his games, was that he should need some work with his positional play. And then right away, dude ordered some books that we had in the program and then posted the picture of those on Twitter. So that was pretty cool. All right, let's get into it. Boom, Krabby Krab. All right. So that's the USCF. That's the preferred ranking. It hasn't moved. So what we can see here, right, is Krabby Krab's been doing most of the stuff on Lee Chess, and that is the basis of the graduation, right? And then we're going to, it's going to be it's a really interesting thing where I don't know the qualification process for the Sweet 16. Maybe there's qualification tourneys, for example. I'm not totally aware. Maybe he's in the chat, maybe Krabby Krab will tell us how you can qualify to the Sweet 16, the Maryland youth tournament. But I know probably some of the places will be by rating, and then of course the challenge here is for Krabby Krab to get that rating up. There are several tournaments he could be playing around the Maryland area, around DC and Baltimore. Okay. So, most of them are fast chess. I assume that means the tournaments are fast chess, like 45-5. But you can use those to get your rating up, or be one of the highest 8 rated players in the state for juniors. Right. And can you tell us, Krabby Krab, what rating do you need to be in that top 8? Okay, so right, so there's 8 places, and then there's a bunch of tournaments. One is a blitz tournament, he's telling us. Okay, but yeah, tell us what rating you need and by when you need it, because that'll be interesting for us to keep tabs on you. Here we go. 1950. Okay, that'll be tough for you to get there for sure. All right, we're going to first click over here. 59 points. Pretty good distribution here. 99 hours. Pretty good, man. The work is getting done. And we're going to also check, when did Krabby Krab join us? March of this year. Great. I'm really happy to say that most of these people graduating are not, there's no big red for the openings here. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hide that opening work, guys.
Mates in 2, boss. Look at that. 1,055 mates in 2. Very good. Yep. And then we got some endgame action going on here too. Very good. Okay. Nice. And the thing actually that he doesn't have here would be books. And I think one of the challenges, I think, with the program, and especially younger, let's say teenagers in the program, is, this is not meant as an insult, but they're just not raised on books, right? So, normally even you go into a classroom these days, people are on computers. So I wonder, how big of a challenge it is for Krabby Krab to sit there, with a normal board with a book. Kids famously have told me that they think books are user unfriendly. And in a sense they are, man. You got a book here, you got to make a move, and you got to make sure that everything's correct in Mundo. It helps your board visualization, make sure you have the right position on the board and everything. But yeah, it's an old school thing. And it's not the only thing in the program. Books are actually a pretty small part of it. But for positional understanding, which is where a lot of young players need help, that's where I think it's going to be of the best use for Krabby Krab. Let's take a look at a game. And then Kostya's got to go eat some avocado toast. So, very close to 2,000 Lichess. I think there was actually a note in the Discord about how Krabby Krab made it. So let me just say, I'm opposed to G3 because it breaks the principles. I understand some GMs have probably played it. It breaks the principles because the bishop is already out and you're making another pawn move to get it out. This move is amazing. It plays the half crab. Dragon woolly mammoth variation. Yeah, it's totally bizarre to play A5.
Dragon woolly mammoth.
Okay. Bishop E3. That's an interesting move, Bishop E3. Let's just say that in general, what's going on when you set yourself up like this is you're kind of giving yourself potential King's Indian ideas with F4, and this is your good bishop, right? So the reason that maybe taking is not so bad for black is, right, he gets rid of your good bishop and leaves you with the chump.
Yeah.
Okay, knight d4. Knight f3. Okay. Now again, if you're going to play this setup, you want to dream about f4, and knight f3 gets in the way of that dream. And right, but you're playing people who are unprincipled. Okay, now we have, by the way, now we have a crisis, and black is the one who's created it. So now we got to think about WTF is going on here. So we have knight d4. You did look at it. We have castles. And we have bishop d4, which is what you did. Let's first look at knight d4. E d4. Queen g4. de3. And you're right, this position will be worse for white because the queen is targetable. Now let me just say, I don't know what's happening because we got to ask about that, right, Kostya?
Ask about what? Oh, Queen G7.
Yeah, that's my question.
Definitely.
And is it still hot and heavy? Yes, it is, but I don't know what's happening. I couldn't tell you because this rook looks like it's going to have to come here. Let's say he gives us a check. Now, I don't know where to put the king yet. Don't ask me yet. Okay, I don't know yet. But let's just put it here as a placeholder. I can ask this question. That's kind of a hell of a drug.
Knight comes to d5, yeah.
So I'm just going to say, that knight takes d4 is something we need to look further at. Because we at least need to see the queen g7 is at the end.
We'll think of it this way, Crab. It's like your king is getting exposed, right? But look at everything else. Your queen is super active, your knight's active, and black has no activity in their position. So, yeah, just because we lose the f2 pawn doesn't mean everything, right?
And also, and this will really help you when you're playing like tournaments where you need to get your rating up. Your opponents at this level will usually not hang stuff. So like at the beginning of the show, right, we're looking at people under 1,000, they're hanging stuff left and right. These people aren't going to hang stuff, but what they will hang is tempo, time. So they hung a full tempo there, giving away some more time here, giving away some more time here. And you, of course, gave away a tempo when you played G3, right? So when they do hang time, like this, knight g4, well, then we're definitely going to say this is a crisis that's been created by this person, and we're going to try to hurt them badly for their crimes, right? And it does look like knight e4 works, but okay, bishop takes, pawn takes, knight e2, queen f6, h3. Let's see what you write. Why play this move when I just castle and develop? Of course, it isn't bad. Instead, I should just castle and let black waste time trying to make his position playable. Okay. That's mostly okay. Now, one of the things that came up earlier on in the show is there was with reverse colors, there was a knight on here and there was an h6 move. And I said, the reason you're doing it is because you're like concerned that the knight is touching your coconuts when in fact it's not, right? This one I have more sympathy with, but I think that's still the same reason why you are drawn to h3 is you're like, oh my God, this knight is messing with me, right? The reason I kind of am okay with h3 is now you're going to get your dream, which is f4, right? So I think castling is fine because you still have f4 in your pocket. Yeah. Bishop b6. What is the crime that you will consistently see at this level? Chumps losing time. We see it again and again and again.
Yeah, remove.
Okay, so knight f4 is interesting, and here you also have the question of f4. And I think for your position, we're going to say f4 is the more thematic move, but knight f4 definitely is interesting because you're looking at d5, right? So let's give knight f4 a chance. Very good. Great. Great, dude. And now your opponent makes a weird move. Yeah. No one knows. Thank you. And now I'm interested to see what you played here, okay? Because your position looks grand, and it should, I know, it should be winning, I think.
Yeah, strategically winning, just for white on the queen side, just looks great. I mean, man, first instinct is like f5, f6. Could be risky, but...
Yeah, so let's say the obvious. f5 is the move, that's the very highly committal move. And the issue is that you give black the e5 square.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the dark squares, which you do not have control of. So on a principled level, if we're going to move any of the pawns, it's this one. Now, that's not to say that f5 is wrong, but just that this is a tactical solution that you're trying to whale as king. That's the only justification for pushing this bad boy, because you lose the dark squares now. Another move which doesn't commit would be rook queen h5. That's a simple move, right? Let's say d6. By the way, if I was coaching black, I'd be like, Baus, is there a reason you haven't played d6 yet? And then our intention here could be to play rook ae1. And this gives us potential to maybe play both e5 and f5.
Yeah. No, this looks great for
And then we got everybody involved. Everybody's cooking. And that's our dream, right? We want everybody cooking. Okay, so here we go. f5, queen e5. Okay, and now you analyze a bunch with rook f4. Oh, this is some good analysis. And then look at this. You come up with Kostya's move. There you go. Let's read what you write. This is a move that I didn't consider. I believe that is the only move that wins because it is the only move that denies black the crucial f6 defensive resource. That's some pretty good notes, Kostya, wouldn't you say? That's
fantastic.
Yeah.
No, huge work.
Now, is it winning? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe. Might be winning. Still a little, there's some complications here still.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
But the reason that on principle we could say, if we're going to say it, that you're winning, it's because black's stuff is all in a muck. What is that? What is that? What is that, dude? What is all this? Now let's just look at queen g3, for example. Rook f4 is interesting, but then let's try d6. And then this is kind of my question about I don't know what's going on.
Well, there's knight e7 check.
Okay, king h8.
Yeah, I see the problem.
So the problem is if knight c8, this thing is hanging, right?
Yeah.
By the way, d6 is the move we got to look at. Forget about the other stuff, man. This guy needs to develop. He needs to develop his stuff, man. Like, that ain't it. That ain't it. This is just pure slay. All right? He's got to look at d6. Now, I still like your position, and maybe a cool move would be queen h5 here.
Right.
Why I want to bring my coconuts into the show, and it's important to see that queen g6 is met by knight e7. Right? And the intention, of course, is I want to bring the other dude in.
Yeah, rook f4 also wasn't the only move. For example, I could try rook f3 as well. Maybe improve.
Queen h5 again too. Bring in a lady in
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of potential for white.
Okay, but I like that you found the right move here. f6, absolutely. Okay, let's look at the game. Queen g4. Now, why doesn't this person? Why don't they play either f6 or d6? So we can ask also d6, because now your f-pawn's pinned. And it's like, bows, open up your dudes. So again, let me stress something. The path to you making 1900 is going to be paved with chumps that don't know how to develop. Like this guy and his issues or her issues is going to be the same one you see over and over on your path. We're talking a lot. Okay, so here we go. f6. Boom. Got to be correctamundo. Genius. Look, he even says, I'm a genius. Queen e8. Nice. Check to the miserable king. Bam, there we go. Mates in two, baby.
Ooh, look at this.
Yeah, look at that, buddy.
Look at this.
Welcome to
the a4. Oh.
A4, dude. A4 is So let's just pause here on this A4 for a second. And I just want to repeat what I said. You're going to play these chumps all the time. And they're going to be blowing it all the time. Right? Why? Because they don't understand that their dudes need to get out. All right. Well, Kostya, I would say that was a pretty good show,
Beautiful
man.
Game. Yeah, great show.
Pretty
great
good
work,
show.
everybody. 15 grads this week. Let's keep it up. keep gaining those points every day. Go through some games, solve some puzzles, do a little bit of analysis. I'm gonna do a little bit more work today. I got more work to do myself.
What are you doing today, Coast to Coast?
Oh boy, I'm gonna review the homepage. We're almost ready with that,
Okay, good.
and then maybe do some game analysis myself. I have some games to annotate. Been going through Karpov book. That's been fun.
Nice.
Probably going to walk soon. I gotta stand. We've been here for hours.
Dude, and I was streaming this morning too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did Title Tuesday.
Oh man, we've been at
Right
it.
before.
Dude. We've been at it, man. I'm gonna go lift some heavy things. Kostya, you found your gym yet, Bows?
I might have. Actually. I'm gonna go this week.
Uh-huh.
For a little meeting, a little intro.
Nice.
Introductory session.
Nice.
Fingers
All right,
crossed.
so I'm gonna rate I Am Rosen if that sounds good to you, buddy.
Yeah, he rated us earlier. So that's great.
All right, everybody, this is my moment where I give my little spiel. Check out the Dojo training program, yo. Come on. Let's go. As you can see, Krabby Krab and the rest, they're improving. Look at this. And people, Studer and them are like, oh, Polgar mates, that's dumb. Well, excuse me. And look at this position, please.
It's invigorated you.
I'm really on the Studer, man. I'm really on the Studer.
It's invigorated.
All right, everybody. Ciao.